Maybe this will work better if I unmute my mic. You would think after like a year of streaming that I would remember this, but I don't. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, not a pro. Thank you, Bickman. Bickman knows what to do. Let me try that again. Welcome in, Margot. How was your stream? I hope you had a good one. I'd love to see your art. If you guys aren't following Margot, make sure that you do. And thank you, BJ, so much. That was really kind of you to gift Margot that gift sub. Sound does help. Yeah, sound does help, it turns out. You know, if you're going to have a mic, you should use it. Yeah, if you're not typing in chat, just, you know, pro streamer tip right there. Is it, hey, is it Nelf? Is it Nelf now? Hey, Nelf. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I haven't even said hi to everybody yet. Like, I was just grabbing my water bottle and I was walking over here when I heard the raid. I was like, oh no, I better run. But yeah, if you'd like to share any art, of course, Margot, you're more than welcome. Links are open to you. And let me scrub and say hi to everybody who came in on the raid and then everybody who's been hanging out in chat. Let's see. Black Tomcat, hello. Early Fiona raid. Yes, it is early. This is the art gym for those who haven't been here before, but it's starting an hour sooner than it normally does. Normally, I don't start these till 10, but for the month of April, I'm going to be trying out 9 a.m. my time, Mountain Time, just so I can get my day going a little faster. We'll see how it goes. But welcome in, and of course, Margot, welcome in. And Bickman, howdy. Who else do we have here? Yeah, I was muted. Thank you, everybody. Yes, that's me, Casey, the not pro streamer. Here I am. Thank you for being here and putting up with me. Danny, hello. And Joanna Clara, hello. Let's see. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else. Thank you, Kudo. Yep. Maybe on. Hopefully it's on. Hey Reiko, how are you? And Spicy Jaw, howdy. Hey everybody, how are we doing? I hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. We're gonna be doing Antlers today. I don't know why I picked Antlers. I got a request on YouTube for another deer video, and I was like, I don't think I've done another deer video, but Antlers are especially hard. So I'm gonna be doing antlers specifically today. I might end up doing a portrait or something, but I'm gonna be drawing different types of antlers because as you can see, there's like a ton of them. So if you want to draw that, if that sounds fun to you, feel free to do some studies of your own, pull up some reference, they're pinned at the top. Thank you, Maze. And feel free to draw along. At the end of the art gym, we will show everybody's studies, so it's kind of like a draw along thing we do here, just to encourage fellow artists to do the hard work of observational drawing. You know, most of the time we want to do the fun stuff, but this is like the workout side of art, like how we get better. So if that sounds fun to you, you don't have to do this. You could do something else. You could draw, you know, do figure studies. You could draw your cat. You could draw whatever you'd like as long as it's from observation, and we'll look at it at the end. So let me see if I can find a link from Margot so we can look at her awesome work. And then I'll introduce myself. I don't see a link yet, so I bet she's still posting it. So I'll just do a quick intro to myself for anyone who hasn't been here before. My name is Casey. I mostly do illustration here on stream. In fact, actually yesterday was the first day in over a month that I've been able to stream from my studio in the afternoons like I normally do. So we're gonna try that again tomorrow. I normally do like streams like this with like, you know, finished illustrations, like various bigger projects that are not observational studies. I do those in the afternoons on Mondays and Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And yeah, hopefully, if all goes well, I can start doing those streams again. Yesterday's test stream went really pretty well. I'm gonna do another one on Wednesday, and if that doesn't crash, we'll go ahead and say that afternoon streams are still on. So if you'd like to come on back on Wednesday for the afternoon streams, you're welcome to. I also do like other things, stickers. I have a comic that I work on, ! Drift, if you want to read it. Sculpting. I do sculpting on the last stream of the month, every single month, except for last month when I couldn't stream from the studio. That was very disappointing. And then I also have like creature design stuff in here somewhere. Sorry, I'm not as organized at this location as I am at the studio, but mostly you'll be seeing digital painting. That's primarily what I do. I'm trying to get into kids' books, book illustration, like covers, graphic novels, that kind of thing. So if you like that kind of vibe, that's what you'll find here. Here's my sea slug dragons. There we go. One of these days I'm going to update this raid folder, but that day is obviously not today. So thank you again, Margot, for coming in. Right now we are doing the art gym, which is what we do in the mornings. And let me say hi to everyone, and I'll keep an eye out for Margot's link. Yeah, as long as it's a study from observation, Kudo, absolutely. Yeah, it even has antlers. Yeah, you can put that in the art gym if you'd like to. Hey Gremlin, how are you? Welcome back. Good to see you again. Let me scroll up and say hi to everybody who I missed in chat. Hey HDMZ, how are you? Hopefully I didn't lose top of chat yet. Okay, there we go. Outinette, by the way, Outinette, thank you for those bits if you're still here. I appreciate that. For that very generous little donation at the beginning of stream. That was very kind. And E-Love, welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you. And Amaze, of course, howdy, loading in, hello. Let's see. Who else do we have? Silvold, howdy, howdy. Scrolling to make sure I don't miss anybody. Reiko, did I say hi? Hello, Reiko. I hope you're doing well. Good to see everybody. Okay, I think that's everyone. If I missed you and you said hi, well then I'm telling you hello and I apologize deeply. So, I'm gonna start doing some studies here in a minute. Oh, perfect. We have a link from Margot. Excellent timing. Working on sketching some circus mice. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this cute thing that Margot did. It hasn't even loaded yet, and I know it's gonna be adorable. Ugh, look at it. So cute. Oh, I love these sketches. Margot, these are so sweet. Margot has such a great style. Like, honestly, just built for kids' books. Like, I just know you're, like, I don't know if you've pitched any agents or anything, but I feel like the minute you do, you're gonna get snatched up by an agent, and you'll be working in kids' books for sure. This is fantastic. You do great work. Again, if you guys aren't following Margot Simone, I know that we got a shout out earlier, but just in case, make sure that you go give Margot a follow. Hey, Miss Art Rules, how are you? A push, I don't know about a push yet. We'll see if I can even get my stream to stop crashing in the studio, and then I'll think about it sometime this month. But honestly, a push sounds really stressful. But isn't that cute, right, Reiko? It's so cute. You get 2 hellos. Yes, you're extra special, Reiko. You don't think you've done Antlers? Yeah, if you want to. They're hard, but I have this really great guide that I've used in the past that I really enjoy, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But Margot, this is fantastic. I'm sure you had a lovely stream and everybody probably really enjoyed watching you sketch these. I'm so excited to see some more stuff. Make sure you guys follow Margot Simone on Blue Sky too, if you didn't know. If you're on Blue Sky and you want to follow a wonderful art streamer, go follow Margot Simone Art over on Blue Sky. Link is in the chat right there. Yeah, of course. And if you need to, like, you know, raid around or do that post-stream, like, self-care stuff, I 100 gajillion% understand. It can be tiring doing the streaming thing. So please take care of yourself. But we are going to be doing some studies, and if anyone wants to lurk, feel free to hang out. I appreciate the lurks, honestly. If you decide to leave this tab open, it's an honor. It's an honor. I appreciate that so much. And if anyone wants to help with, like, lurking but doesn't want to hear ads, you can just mute the tab, but leave the volume up, and that really helps streamers out too. Not just me, any streamer that you enjoy. Like, if you want to go lurk on someone else, I understand. But for anyone who's lurking here, I really appreciate it. Okay, so Antlers. Here is my favorite resource on drawing antlers. There's a link to this in the pins at the top of the chat. If you click that, it goes to my Pinterest board. I could link you directly there, but it's just in the anatomy. It's like the first little section in that board. And there's a lot of antler anatomy tips in there, but my favorite one that I've ever found is actually focusing on caribou or reindeer. But the basic fundamentals of this still stand. And so I'm going to walk through that just a little bit. I do want to say this is by Velks. This is not something that I made. So go check out Velks' work. They're on Twitter. I want to say they're on Blue Sky too, actually. Let me check before I should probably let them know. I feel like I did this last year and like reached out to them and just said that I really appreciated this tutorial. Actually, I don't know if they are on Blue Sky, but they're definitely on Twitter and they're on DeviantArt. So if you like this tutorial, go give them a follow. Okay, so basically you've got your it's like color coded into the different sections of the antler, right? So you've got your main beam right there, which is the basic structure that all antlers have, and we'll talk about that too in a sec, but I just want to go over them. So for reindeer, they have like different anatomy than some antlers do. They have these things they call shovels. I think that's actually the real term, but they tend to have slightly palmated antler, I guess palms and bits, right? So this is called the top palm. Rear point is back here. Not every deer has a rear, like a back side point. This one they call the bez. Again, I'm just assuming these are the actual terms. I don't really know. And this is the shovel. The shovel is distinctive on a reindeer because it's like huge in front of their face. And something I didn't know or hadn't really noticed until I saw this tutorial is that one of the shovels is always smaller than the other. So there's the shovel on this antler. This one's got the big one. And they talk a whole lot more about this stuff down in these different shapes and sections. But basically, drawing the antler like this is gonna help you, instead of, like, because I feel like a lot of times a lot of people just do this. Like, we just don't know, so we just draw antlers like however. It's just like a stick with a bunch of sticks sticking out of it, right? But if you break it down into the anatomy, it makes it easier to parse. So if you start by the main beam, I would recommend just doing a quick study just of this piece. Again, a study, guys, is not copying. A study is, you're asking yourself questions, like, what am I trying to learn here? I'm trying to learn the anatomy of an antler. So you've got your main beam, and then on the back side for the caribou, you've got these bits that come off, right? Again, it doesn't have to be totally precise. It's not the point, although I did kind of flub that one a little bit. There we go. And then you got this little rear point coming off kind of where the curve starts. So I'm trying to note where it is. It's not up here, it's not way down here. It's right after the curve starts upward, right? So taking notes of landmarks like that is going to help you as well with any kind of a study, not just with antlers. Okay. So this is like the basic, and then you have your palmated shovel. And palmated is just a term applied to antlers when it looks like, I always think of it like it looks like a palm of hand, right? So moose have palmated antlers, caribou have slightly palmated parts of the antler, fallow deer, this is a fallow deer I'm pretty sure, they have, yeah, palmated antlers. Sometimes even elk can have a slight deformation in the antler where it starts to palmate a bit. I have some pictures in my Pinterest about that. I think this is an elk antler. Yeah, so sometimes they can palmate like here and here. They can start to have these like wedge shapes in between the fronds, but it's pretty rare. It's not very common that that happens. So anyway, yeah, so if you can apply this same principle of like the different pieces to just about any antler type, right? So you've always got your main beam, and then you're just paying attention of where the pieces come off of that main beam. So this is like a typical, I would say, like a, what is it, a whitetail? Yeah. Like when you see like Bambi or like your typical deer antler, they are these whitetail antlers. So whitetails, they curve forward, right? They curve differently. Like elk and caribou, they go back quite a bit. Whitetails tend to face, like have this like curvature to them, right? But if you can learn like how the pieces work on it, then you can draw them from different angles and it will still look accurate. Now that's not a great example. We're gonna look at real photos of antlers here in a minute to actually like practice this, but I just kind of wanted to talk about a little bit of these pieces. So I'm gonna go over them, like the elk, for example. Here's your main beam, right? So I'm just gonna use their same colors. They don't really have these same types, but we're gonna go ahead and use top palm for these top beams coming off here. We've got our, we'll say bez, because there is no rear point. Or I guess maybe we could do green for like midpoint or something. And then you got your shovel. So see how those pieces all exist, right? Now this one, the first frond in the shovel of the, like in that part of the reindeer goes straight forward, this one it goes straight up. But if you look at all of them, they've all got, you know, these little pieces right at the base. It just, they go in different directions, right? So here's the yellow piece in all of these. Hopefully what I'm saying is making sense, but what I'm trying to say is if you can break it down into these pieces, it's gonna help you think about and keep track of what you're drawing a lot better than just guessing. Because sometimes even looking at a reference, antlers can be overwhelming feeling, right? So speaking of references, I'm gonna actually go get some actual references now. These are like artist references, which are great, but you're always gonna learn best from as close to real observation as you can, like reality, right? I just love those simplified fundamental anatomy drawings. Yeah, I know, this is, so if you go to my Pinterest board here, I'll show you guys. There's a whole, like when you click the link at the top of chat, this is what shows up. If you just go to anatomy/how to draw, I've got skulls, I've got bones, I've got all kinds of stuff. But Velks did like a whole series. So they do like even a step-by-step, like how to even structure the main beam, right? And if you really want to walk through each one of these, like I highly recommend following these steps. I've done that before on stream, so I'm not going to do that again here. But again, it's just really interesting. And they even talk about like abnormal antlers, right? And like where you can still find those pieces in the abnormal antlers. So like down here at the bottom, you've got these wildly, weirdly grown, non-typical growth antlers. But they still have all those basic pieces. They're just kind of warped looking. But yeah, it's really helpful. So I highly recommend if you want to get a deep dive on antlers, like this is hands down one of the best tutorials I've seen on it. There's also some really great like, you know, deer feet and legs and all kinds of like deer anatomy helpful tips and things. But again, today I'm just going to be focusing on antlers of different types of cervids, which is like the scientific name for deer. So yeah, anyway, click that link at the top. You can, I try really hard to get good references in my Pinterest board. I know Pinterest is kind of meh these days, but I try really hard to curate mine so that there isn't a lot of like AI or bad stuff. But K-Reg, welcome in. It's good to have you. Thanks for being here. Sorry, I tend to go off on little tangents sometimes. Perfect timing, Spicy. Well, I'm glad you like the ramble. There's probably going to be a fair bit of that today. I'm feeling oddly awake for it being an hour earlier, so maybe that's a good sign that this is a good time for me. Sometimes, just sometimes, right, Amaze? Not all the time. I'm not constantly rambling or anything. I'm amazed anybody's still listening. I'm sure I've been tuned out by a number of people at this point. Rabbit holes for sure. Yep. Oh gosh, too funny. Yeah. Thank you for the lyric. No, seriously, thank you. Okay, so let's get into, and again, you guys don't have to like wait for me to start drawing to draw. Like you can always start picking up your pencil and doing some studies on your own. I don't know why I put this in this folder. Hold on, that bothers me a whole lot. Why is that here? What? Why can't I edit this pen? There's like a weird picture in the anatomy folder and it won't let me move it. Oh, here we go. Okay. That should not be in the anatomy or how to draw section. There we are. Okay, anyway, sorry, that was gonna bug me. Let's go check out some actual images of deer. So I'm gonna start with elk, the North American elk. I know that in Europe, the elk is actually what we would call a moose. It's very confusing, mostly because that was the only word the early settlers knew for large deer, and when they saw an elk here, it was like a large deer they'd never seen before, so they just called it an elk. And then when we saw moose, which were the same as what they knew as elk, they had to use a different name. I don't remember where that name comes from. It could be a native name, but anyway, there's the backstory on elk nobody asked for. Speaking of rambles, I'm gonna use this image. Ooh, here's a palmated one. Here's what I was talking about. See, I get too distracted. So see how this elk has started to have palmate antlers? It's kind of crazy. This is a non-typical antler growth for an elk, right? Like that's not normal. So it's helpful to know what they're supposed to look like. And this is why it's really important to look at multiple references and not just pull the first one. Because like this right here, this looks like AI to me or heavily photoshopped. Yeah, that's not a real photo, but it can look like it might be. So just be really careful when you're looking at reference, especially on Pinterest or in Google Images right now. It's like the Wild West of trying to find images that are actually useful at the moment. But this is like a typical elk antler, I would say. Here's another really good. They have this really cool, like their antlers kind of curve backward, which I always remember. I did a card with elk. Ooh, this is a nice elk photo. Different stages of life elk. But yeah, I actually want to save this one. It's a good one. But yeah, so this is like typical antler growth for an elk. So I'm going to start off with an elk and I'm just going to do a quick study of their antlers. I'm going to actually erase this because I don't need that. And we're going to move this little study thing over so that I can draw something else here. And just as a reminder, we are doing the monthly art showcase at the end of stream. So if you submitted something into the showcase last month, we will be looking at it at the end after the art gym showcase, like show and tell thing. So if you draw along with the art gym, we're going to be looking at your work. And if you submitted something into the showcase, we will also be looking at your work. Where should I put this? I'm going to put it here. We're going to make it look like the elk is talking. I always like that. This speech bubble is pointing the wrong way. It's a minor thing, but it will bother me, so gotta fix it. There we go. Okay. Let's draw. Oh, hey, Evan. How's it going? Time for the warm-up. That's right. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We're just doing some warm-up studies this morning. We do what we call the art gym Monday through Wednesday for like an hour. It's just an opportunity to encourage each other to do the hard work that most artists don't want to do, including myself, which is observational drawing. Tends to be the less exciting. at least at first. I'm getting to where I enjoy it more than I used to, but man, it's hard sometimes. So anyway, you guys should go follow Evan Blair if you aren't already. We rated in the other day. It's super cool to see you. Jay Stiller made you discover the stream. Oh, well, I'm so glad that you checked it out. From Jay Stiller's recommendation is, I am extremely honored to get a recommendation from Jay Stiller, another incredible artist here on Twitch. Thank you so much for hanging out. How do I know these facts? Because I'm a giant animal nerd, Spicy. I spent too much time watching Animal Planet and Discovery Channel as a kid, and then I discovered Wikipedia and never looked back. That's how. So. You too can know way too much about animals. I also spend a lot of time in nature, and to be fair, elk, like these guys, we see all the time here in Colorado, so it's just like a, I don't know, if you pay enough attention, you'll notice things like the shape of the antlers being different, right? Like it's really obvious with something like a moose that the elk isn't the same, but if you look at a white-tailed deer, very different also, like they curve forward like we were talking about. These do not. Like training your observation eye like that is like kind of part of the purpose of the art gym, right? It's to learn how to closely observe objects around you so that you can notice details like how does the light hit this bottle? You know, what shape is the basic shape of this bottle? A cylinder, right? How would I draw that at this perspective versus this perspective or this one? You know, like paying close attention can help you even if you're not drawing. Like sometimes I go for walks and I just look at tree bark texture. And I'm sure that makes me sound like a weirdo, and I probably look strange. I climbed on a fence the other day to look really closely at some budding leaves, but they were interesting. And the more you can notice about the world around you, the more you're going to be able to bring that stuff into your artwork. So that's part of why I always tell people, like, just because you don't want to be an artist, picking up the skill of drawing is helpful for any person, I think. Any career, any interest, like just learning to be more observant is going to benefit your life, you know? I think it's great, and I want to encourage anybody who wants to try to pick up a pencil. That's why this is open to anybody at any skill level. It's not just people who are trying to be pros, but even if art is a hobby or just a hobby you'd like to pick up, right? I think it's really helpful for just the human brain in general to keep yourself asking questions, to keep yourself looking closely and noticing things, even if it's an object you've looked at a million times, you know, like your hand. Like, what do you notice about your hand? Like, can you use your hand to draw from a reference, you know? I don't know. I think the world's a really interesting place, and there's always more you can incorporate into your art, into your music, into your writing, into your studies. And the more observant and more questions you can ask, the more benefit you're going to reap from that. So drawing can just help you train that curiosity, train that observation eye. And yeah, that's what we're here for. Let's see. You didn't retain facts about how they were named. Well, I'm just a big animal dork. That's part of it. Antlers are so interesting in that they evolved to grow both in a way to resemble curves and angles of tree branches, yep, while also being in an arms race for combat. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Plus, it's neat to incorporate all the... Yeah, exactly! They can look so different, and even the same animal, like if it has an injury to its horn or its antler bud, it can grow different antlers the following year, or if it has like a nutrient deficiency, like they can look different on the same creature. And for those who don't know the difference, by the way, between a horn and an antler, I'm sure most of you do, but antlers fall off and regrow, horns do not. So, there you are. Oh, well, Miss Art Rules, you can still put it in there. We'll just show it on next month's showcase. But while you're thinking about it, go ahead and put it in the showcase. In fact, if anybody wants to be a part of next month's showcase, you can go ahead. If it's on your mind right now, put it in there, and it'll just be there for next month. Climbing fence. I mean, you had to get closer. I had to get closer. Elk calls. Okay, so remind me in a minute. I can show you guys. I actually got a video of an elk bugling like a few feet from me one time. And if you guys want to see that, let me know and I can pull up the video. I think it's like unlisted on my YouTube channel or something, but I'll find it. It might be on Instagram somewhere. But yeah, it's super cool. Okay, so I'm gonna implement these steps, right, that this artist has laid out for drawing the antler. So I'm looking for the main beam first. So as you can see, it's not just a straight line, right? It actually it's kind of jagged in a way, but like smooth on the edges, I suppose. So that's what I'm gonna be drawing. I'm just gonna loosely sketch the head. I'm not really gonna draw the whole head because, you know, I'm just trying to get the proportions right. I'm trying to get the size of the antler in relation to the head right. So if I were to just draw the antlers and not really know where they were coming from the head, that's not really gonna help me in future pieces, right? So I'm gonna draw this main beam. Try and make your eyes look at your reference more than your paper. That's another tip. Those of you who've been here before have probably heard me say that a few times, but it's really easy to get really hyper-focused in on your drawing and where your lines are going, because we like to be precise and perfectionistic, but doing that is actually going to make you draw things disproportionately, right? So the more you can look at your reference, the more you're going to like your drawing in the end. If you hyper-focus and get into the details too quickly, you're going to end up with a drawing you don't really enjoy that much, and it's going to frustrate you. So try really hard to just do loose shapes at first, check your proportions, and then go into details if you can. I am also kind of preaching to myself right now on this because I am terrible about remembering to do that. I always get really excited about a muscle detail or a face detail, and I'm like, shoot, messed that up entirely. Cool. Okay, and so now I'm gonna draw just the various prongs that I see, and I'm noticing as I'm drawing this, I'm noticing everywhere that there's an angle bend, there sort of is another prong that comes out for the elk. So that's, again, as you're doing studies, ask yourself questions. Don't just be oh, I need to copy this exactly here and it's right here. Ask yourself why is it right there? What landmarks are around that? How can I remember that for a future drawing? And a good way to test this is after you've done a few studies, step aside without a reference and see if you can draw a decent set of antlers, right? And if you notice there's some issues, some things you didn't totally take in, then that shows you kind of where you need to practice some more. So we don't really talk about that step enough, but that's a good way if you struggle to draw without reference, if you're kind of nervous about drawing without a reference. Some of that is just letting go of perfectionism, which, trust me, I know is a battle. Being willing to get a bad drawing on the paper, remember, is part of the art gem. We're here to get the bad drawings out, right? So we're just here to draw poorly together. So please don't be intimidated. Let yourself make mistakes. It'll be okay. We're in this together. We're here struggling with one another. Yeah, elk calls are really cool. I think so too. Yeah. Pyro, and you had a screaming one outside your vehicle. Nice. Yeah, I have a video like that too. Yeah, they're really cool. And if you go out to the mountains in Colorado, you're almost guaranteed to run into them. They're kind of everywhere, honestly. My video is from Evergreen, Colorado, which is kind of near where I'm at, and it's I think it's pretty cool. Just put all these lines on random parts of the page. Hold on. There we go. No better time to tackle architecture? Wait, what do you mean? What did I say that? Oh, with me getting too into the details? I mean, I definitely need to practice architecture. I think I forgot to put architecture. I need to start incorporating one architectural drawing a month for the studies. There's so much I need to get better at, you guys. So much. But this one came as a request on YouTube, so... Which, by the way, if anyone is interested, you certainly don't have to, but if anyone wants to help me on YouTube, apparently something happens when you hit 500 followers on YouTube. I'm around 300 right now, so if anyone wants to help me get to 500, you can follow me there. I think what it is once because my plan is to start live streaming on YouTube and Twitch sometime in June, hopefully. And maybe, yeah, probably June at this rate, because I'm waiting for all my art VODs to catch up. But right now, wait, what was that? Rue? Oh, Rue, thank you so much for that sub. And for the 8 months of subs. Rue, that is extremely, extremely kind of you. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Yes, I say a thing and then I'll forget I did so. Yep, I have the memory span of a fly, a chihuahua, I don't know, something with a short attention span, a goldfish. I kind of forget stuff. Especially when I'm excited about something. It's pretty bad. But you're probably right, Rue. I do need to draw more architecture. So, yeah, absolute pro. Yeah, about 62% really. But whatever you were referencing was probably accurate, because I probably do need to study architecture more. Oh, speaking of things I need to study more, for anybody who's missed this announcement, if I can get the afternoon streams going again, and if all the test streams and stuff work, then I'll start doing afternoon streams again. And one of the things I want to do is start doing a character camp. I haven't quite figured out how we'll work submissions. I think for now we'll just submit them in the stream event chat, and unless it gets really popular, we need our own channel for it or something. But it'll be a chat-led character design challenge. And we'll do it like once a month or so, maybe twice. I haven't decided yet. But I need to get better at character design. And so like shape language, like I really want to start pushing more of that. I just want to experiment with that and see if I can find a style that I like. So I think a good way to do that would be to do like some character design exercises. And it'll be basically where chat can submit words during the session. So during character camp, you can submit words and we will have like an hour or an hour and a half or however long. I haven't decided on that either. To draw as many characters using those words as we can. So like trying to use the same words to get a variety, right? So like trying to explore different meanings that the words can have, or like different things they make us think of, and then put them together for characters and then show and tell type thing, like kind of like we do for the art gym. So character camp is what I'm calling it right now. We'll see if that name changes. And we're gonna start doing that later this month. I wanna say, if I look at the schedule in the Discord, I wanna say it's like mid-April. Let me check. I should probably know this stuff, but I just don't. Oh, also, apparently my stream is playing on 3 different windows and I'm shocked we did not crash. Why is this 10-year-old computer more stable than my computer that I built a year ago? It is so frustrating. Yes, the 14th. So Monday the 14th of April. If we are able to do afternoon streams moving forward, I'm going to be doing the first character camp will be on the 14th. So I'll make an event for that so that I don't forget. But if anyone wants to stay in touch and see my schedule and like, you know, see what's going on, there's the Discord if anyone needs it. Did the screen crash at all? It did not, Bribelette. Yeah, shockingly, we took a prediction even to see like who thought it would or wouldn't, and it stayed on the whole time. So some people made some extra channel points. We'll do that again on Wednesday. So I'm gonna do a second test stream, and I'm gonna go for longer on Wednesday. I was so nervous on Monday, I didn't want to go longer, and like take a chance of my computer crashing, but we're gonna go longer on Wednesday. So if anybody wants to come back and take bets on whether or not that stream will last, it's probably gonna be like closer to a 4-hour stream. This last one was like 2, I think. Maybe, yeah, it was about 2 hours. So, yeah, we cannot do that. That's right, Santroa. There's only so many Ks that can be used to alliterate my name, and I'm not comfortable with more than 2. So, yeah, we cannot call it that, unfortunately. Yeah, we're just hitting this bad. Oh, yeah, you're right. I know I need to embrace my motto when it comes to things I'm super insecure about, like architecture. It's just like straight lines and perspective and drawing things on a grid. You almost couldn't make art more boring for me. This is why I'll never be a graphic designer, because I do not care about layouts. I know I should care about grids and layouts and structure and balance, but I just want to draw. And I gotta figure that out. Like it's a mental block that I know I'm in the wrong here, but it's just like, man, I just want to make something move and be organic and unrestrained, and I don't like grids. And that's basically architecture. So I really struggle with that. Hey Isol, how are you? It's good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. You guys should also follow Isol. There's a lot of cool artists in chat today. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Is this a tradition computer? I don't know what that means. You bought a new computer. Nice, nice. I used to stream from my laptop, so I mean, you can definitely stream. You don't have to have a PC, but I do prefer streaming on the PC for sure. Like, I technically could stream on my laptop if I really needed to, but man, that is a bad time. That is a bad time sandwich, because I can only draw on like this big of a screen because all my other stuff has to be visible. It's a nightmare. I guess you could hook up a second monitor to a laptop though, and then it wouldn't be that bad. I don't know, I don't know if I did that before. If I ever have to stream my laptop, I will try to remember that. Alright, so this part of the antler is a little confusing because there's like multiple prongs happening and it's hard to see which one is happening where. So it looks like, according to this image, and let me check a reference just to make sure, it looks like there might be like double prongs on the front of an elk. This looks like an elk. Yeah, so they have 2 prongs at the base of their, so like they have the shovel and then they have one right next to the shovel. So that is what we're seeing right here. So I'm gonna try and remember that as I draw this. So we've got the one that comes straight out, very fancy. And then there's the one that comes out just above it and slightly at an angle. So it's going to look a little higher at this perspective, but that's just because it's traveling around the curvature of the main beam, right? Trying to think about this stuff in perspective, not perspective, but three-dimensionally is going to help quite a bit as well. So try your best to remember this is not a flat thing you're drawing. This is a three-dimensional object. And if you can think of it like sculpting, sculpting with your pencil is kind of how I like to think about drawing. What's going on? I gotta read. Oh no, I can't see it because I'm behind everything. Running Pico, hello. How was your stream? Welcome in. Welcome to the art gym. We're doing an art study workout this morning, so feel free to join in if you'd like. Oh yeah, I do love the Kool-Aid Man sound. It makes me laugh even though it terrifies me. How was your stream? What did you get up to? Thank you for getting that shout out. It sounds like you were playing Minecraft. Well, welcome in. I hope you had a good stream. Tell us all about it if you want to, or lurk. For anyone who hasn't been here before, my name is Casey, and I am an illustrator. I welcome anyone of any art ability or level to join in. Here's the type of stuff I typically do. I'm just going to show these really fast. But if you come back in the afternoon streams, as long as my computer doesn't crash tomorrow, Mondays and Wednesdays I do longer format projects where I do digital illustration. I make creature design stuff as well. We do this thing called Sea Slug Dragons where I'll look at a sea slug, we'll talk about it, chat gets to pick it, and then I'll design a creature or a dragon based on that sea slug. So I think it's a lot of fun. I usually do that on the first Wednesday of the month, so we're going to try to do that tomorrow. I've been having some tech issues at the studio, so I haven't been able to stream in the afternoons, but I think I've gotten them resolved. I'm trying not to be too optimistic, but tomorrow will be the second test stream before I officially say the afternoon streams are back on. But if you like digital art, this is the kind of stuff that I tend to do in the afternoons. In the mornings, Monday through Wednesdays, we do these art gym sessions. The idea is it's like going to the real gym. Sometimes it's easier with an accountability buddy. You guys are my accountability partners, so thank you for being here. If anyone wants to lurk, feel free. If anyone wants to join in, any kind of a study drawn from observation, as long as it's a study, we'll show at the end of stream. So we'll be doing that in about an hour-ish? Wait, no. Yes. No. Yeah, about an hour, about 10:45-ish is probably when we'll start doing it. So it's 9:45 for me right now here in Colorado. And then right after that, we're actually doing a special monthly art showcase. So anybody who submitted a piece into my Discord last month, we have all month to submit, and then we'll look at it on stream for the first stream of the month. Usually we do it in the afternoons, but because I'm not so sure that my computer can handle it, we went ahead and did it today. So I also do sculpting, so there's a sculpting piece that I've done on stream. So I'm kind of a variety streamer. But excuse me, yeah, welcome in. It was good. Spicy told, oh, thank you, Spicy. That's really kind of you to talk to other people about my stream. But yeah, this is what I'm up to. So if anyone wants to hang out, that's what we do. If anyone is on social media and wants to check out my socials, there they are. And I appreciate you coming in. Yeah. Hey, Michael Howards, how are you? I am a bit of a rambler. I'm sorry. Yeah, feel free to mute the tab. If anyone wants to support the stream, you can mute the tab and leave me going. But if I'm annoying, you can leave too. That's fine. I understand. I can be a bit much. Squirrel indeed. I was looking at the screen though, so it didn't scare me that time. So sorry. I know some people just like to try to jump scare me. But, good rambles. I'm glad you like them. Some people like them more than others. I'm not gonna name any names. What's my favorite thing to draw? I will. Thank you, Kudo. My favorite thing to draw is animals in general. I'm kind of a creature designer at heart. That tends to be what I want to do most of the time. But it's hard to make a living doing that, so I do more illustration stuff. But if I had my choice of could draw anything, I really like drawing elephants. Elephants are my favorite animal. Dinosaurs are very cool. I have a whole series of dinosaur stickers. You can check them out on Instagram, or if anybody wants to buy some, I guess. I'm really bad at self-promo, but here's Redbubble, if anyone wants to check those out. They usually have sticker sales going on Redbubble, so you can usually get them pretty cheap. I am actually... Oh, speaking of stickers, for anyone who missed the stream yesterday afternoon, I was showing you guys the stickers that I just made for with my new printer that Twitch chat so generously helped me buy, which was so kind. And you got to name, if you recall, the name is Prince Charming. And Prince Charming printed off his very first set of stickers yesterday, and I did some of the new dinosaur stickers from last year's November. So I still need to adjust the color. Some of the color settings are a little weird, so I need to do some research hopefully today when I get to the studio and figure out how to adjust colors for that. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to offer up more stuff on my Ko-fi shop. I do have a Ko-fi, it's just not very robust right now because I don't really have a good idea of my inventory. Although I have a better idea now that I've done a convention again. I'll hopefully be getting into some more cons this year. Oh, speaking of, sorry, I'm just being reminded of things that I kept meaning to tell people. I got an email yesterday from Denver Fan Expo, and this is the first time I've heard from them in 2 years, so I don't know if they got a new person or what, but I've been on the wait list for a number of years, trying to get back into that show, because I used to go every year before COVID, and it was great. It was one of my best shows, and I haven't been able to get back in because they let people sign up, which is understandable, like day of, like when the show ends, you can sign up ahead of time for next year to secure your spot. So they have like a 92% re-sign up rate. So it's like extremely hard for the hundreds of artists that want to go to that show to actually get in. So now that I've lost my spot, basically, it's really hard to get back in. So it's a little frustrating. But I got an email from them yesterday saying, hey, like you're still on the list, basically, and we don't have any spots right now. But if you want to email back in mid-June, that's when we'll know about cancellations and stuff. And I just kind of replied and was like, hey, thank you so much. Like, I'd really love to come back. And, you know, here's all. I tried to be brief, but also just like reinforce that I'm an artist that's a local and a really interested person in going back to the show. So I don't know if it helped, but I'm hoping that maybe that will keep me to the top of the list a little bit, or at least closer to the top. But I want to go back so bad, and I'd love to get in again this year. It's been a long time since I've been able to go to Denver. It's a really big show. It's the biggest one in Colorado, and I usually would make pretty good money there. And I think I have a better idea of how to do conventions now than I did when I first started. So there's things I would change, and I think I could do even better if I were able to go back. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm just, you know, telling you guys the rambling things that are happening to me right now. Yeah, I know, right? It's like, what is a ramble? Dinosaurs are just elephants with a limb randomizer mod. That is a way to look at it for sure, Suntroa. Yeah. Oh, are you on the wait list too, Michael Howell? Yeah. Or do you actually get to go? Are you one of the people that gets to renew every year? Because I really wish that I had just gone back. Like, they reached out to me in 2021 after they canceled in 2020, obviously. Because they were like, hey, we're thinking about starting this again, and I just wasn't ready at the time. You're one of the people who renews. That's awesome. That's awesome. Congrats on being able to go. Hopefully I can see you there this year. We'll see. I would really love to get back into that show. But I don't know if it's gonna happen. And I know that there's like hundreds of other artists that want to go, so. Anyway, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna keep trying. I just wish there was more I could do. I'm honestly kind of hoping, like, not hoping, but like worst case scenario, maybe somebody like can't go suddenly and offers me their table, which would be fantastic. Oh gosh, I'm struggling with this one. Because that's what happened to me for the show in the Springs a month ago. Or maybe it wasn't quite a month ago. It's a few weeks ago. But yeah, somebody offered me their table at Cosmic-Con, and I hadn't done a show since 2016. So I was like, well, I've been kind of thinking about getting back into this. I'll just try it. And it ended up going pretty well, especially for a smaller show. So, I don't know. I'm optimistic. Yeah. No, yeah, of course. And I don't blame you for, like, listen, if I ever make it back into that show, I'm just always going to renew. Like, I'm not losing my table again. If that's how it's going to be, it sucks because it's hard for new artists to get in. But, man, it just feels like it is so impossible to get back on once you've lost it. We are going to have an ad break in 2 minutes, so during the ad break, if you'd like to support the stream, feel free to mute the tab but leave the player running. What I will do is I'll stop drawing and I'll just do a stretch break, usually is what I do. I am going to probably fill up my water bottle as well, just so that nobody feels like they're missing out if you don't have a sub or if you don't have turbo. So. I know, right, Sunshine? It makes me feel so bad. It's like, I don't want to wish I don't want anyone to be in my position, but at the same time, like, I also wouldn't want to lose that spot, so I would absolutely renew if I got back in. Like, even if I had a bad show, I'd still be like, well, we'll just try again next year. Because it's almost not worth it to lose the spot. Just need more spots. It's true. It would be nice to I don't even know if there is a bigger venue, you know? Like, if there is a bigger venue that they could go to, or if there is a way to arrange it to where there's more spots. Have someone get an offer they can't refuse and have to go chase their dreams. Right. Well, I don't want to wish ill on anyone, but yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. Okay, I'm gonna do a white-tailed deer since we talked about the difference between white-tailed deers and various others. I'm just gonna point out, I guess, how different these animals are to each other. So, white-tail, black-tail. Here's, again, just so you can see the difference. Like, it's pretty clear, like, pretty immediately clear, I would say. Let me see if I can find a good angled picture. I feel like I've drawn this one before, but I'm just gonna use this one. But like, see how the elk, their antlers point back? Wait, why is it? What is going on right now? My undo button's not working. That's weird. Ugh, it's my stinking keyboard. I've got to get a different keyboard. Okay, wireless keyboards are terrible, by the way. For what I use them for anyway. But do you see the huge difference? Like, yes, they're still spindly and there's similarities, but look at how these antlers curve. They come out from the front, like toward the front of the head. So it's like I've seen people talk about drawing deer like this, like if you have your deer face, right? They talk about it like being a circle. So if you draw this like loop forward, that's basically the white-tailed deer antler set. And you can almost see that here, right? See how this antler is kind of pointing at this one and they're making like a loop? And everything kind of grows off of that loop. So this one, right, it goes forward and around. And then these tines come off the top. Same thing here. And I'm drawing this backwards, obviously, but it goes around and back for the top tine right there. And then these ones come off the top. I obviously didn't draw them the right height, but you see what I'm saying. If you look at your references, you can actually pick out how to do this pretty easily. But this person, when they talked about drawing the caribou, they walked through those same steps. In fact, I guess I could show that just in case my visual is not very good, because I don't want to confuse anybody. But again, if you go to that link at the top of chat, go to the anatomy section, you will see various antler tutorials, including this one, which talks about how to do that, right? How you find and draw the main beam, and then you just draw this loop. That see how they're pointing at each other? It's true for most deer antlers tend to like curve in a loop in some direction, right? These ones happen to be back, but they're still doing it. So anyway, just interesting things to note. And we have an ad break, so I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna do our ad breaks. So if anybody wants to stretch along with me, if you can hear the sound of my voice, this is your friendly reminder to unshrimp yourself. And running Pico, thank you so much. No, please read and run. I totally understand. Thank you for coming and for hanging out, and thank you for keeping the tab open to lurk. I really appreciate that. So if you'd like to stretch along with me, what I always say is, this is our reminder to unshrimp, right? So the first stretch I like to do is the posture stretch. Basically, you're going to arch your back, so you're going to overcorrect any kind of hunching you might be doing, any shrimping, if you will. And what I like to do extra is actually push my shoulder blades together and hold. And you're gonna basically try and make them touch. You can't, probably, because of things that are in the way, but you're gonna stretch and flex those muscles to kind of hold them in place while you're arching your back. And this is gonna strengthen those back muscles to kind of help you keep your back in a better position throughout the day, right? So you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna relax. So that relax is not to re-hunch, right? You don't wanna go back to this, but you're gonna overcorrect and then just basically relax. And that's gonna drop you into just a more natural feeling upright position. And if you do that every time you notice yourself hunching, over time it basically is like a cinch, right? It's gonna kind of crank your back into place, kind of give you more natural upright posture. I've noticed this happening for me a lot lately. I've been doing that stretch pretty much anytime I notice myself hunching, whether I'm walking or driving or just sitting and drawing, whatever I'm doing. Try and fix your posture. You can do some shoulder rolls if that helps. But if you do that, every time you notice it, over time it does strengthen those muscles, and now sitting like this does not feel awkward to me. Whereas it used to feel kind of weird right here, especially. Like if it feels weird right here for you, that's just your pectoral muscles kind of not being used to being at that stretched position, right? But that's why the overstretch helps, because it's gonna stretch them out and then help them be in a relaxed state better. So another thing you can do is your carpal tunnel stretch. So my favorite one is you take your hand, and take your fingers, it's hard to see here, but take your hand and point it upside down. So you can use the wall and push against the wall if that's helpful. I just like to take my hand across my fingers and my thumb, point my fingers at the ground, and then pull gently toward my body. So, but for some people this hurts or it's too awkward to figure out. I totally get it. Just push it against a wall if that's more helpful. But this is going to help prevent carpal tunnel. This is like supposedly the best carpal tunnel stretch you can do, at least according to some physical therapists I talked to. They're all like, yes, this is the one. If you can get all your fingers pointed at the ground and pull them gently toward your body, you're going to be able to loosen up those tendons and keep carpal tunnel at bay. So yeah, self-care stretching. That's what we do during ads, Chicory. Also, welcome in, Chicory. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Hey Mojo Jojo, welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for coming in on the raid and for hanging out. We just do stretches during the ad breaks here so that nobody has to miss out on anything. I'm feeling much better. Yeah, yesterday morning was a nightmare, but we're good now. So we're good, we're good. Thank you for asking. How are you? Yeah, and you guys should all follow Chicory too. Man, there's so many artists here in chat. I've been terrible at shoutouts this morning. I'll try and catch up, but there's a lot, like pretty much everybody in chat is either a streamer or an artist. So you guys should just go, everybody follow everybody. But everyone's incredible. Lots of awesome artists here. Chicory is one of those awesome artists for sure. We are doing antler studies today because this is something I struggle with. And I feel like it's always a good reminder to remember like the different antler structures. And I really like this tutorial by Velks, kind of how to break down the antler into pieces so that you can kind of design your own even. Yeah, they're super fun, right? Horns are one we should do. We've never really done intentionally like horns. Well, no, actually we did last year during the Dragon Design Week. We did do a horn session, but there's so many out there. Like, no, you're not late. You're fine, you're fine. But yeah, I like this strategy of like just drawing the main beam first, like finding the main beam, which in this animal would be this right here. So that's the main beam, right? And then you've got all these tines and things that come off of them. So here's that first forward tine. Although on this one, it actually points inward instead of forward, which is interesting. And then you've got these others. So here's that main beam again. And one thing we were talking about is just how the main beam always kind of points at itself. So that's one way to kind of, like, I heard somebody describe it as think of it like your hands, like wrapping around a globe. So like these fingers are gonna point at each other. So like if these are your main beams of your antlers, right, they're gonna kind of curve around that globe toward each other. So the more you can think about these things in 3 dimensions, the better you're gonna be able to draw things like antlers. So that's what I'm trying to keep in mind anyway. But yeah, remember, just try to ask yourself questions as you do these studies more than you are just like copying the image, because copying is not really gonna help you remember it and like put it into your actual practice, right? Copying is gonna kind of keep you shackled in a way to references. So if you feel like you're not able to draw without a reference ever, like it's understandable if it's something you're not super familiar with. But if you're not even able to draw like something very basic without a reference, then you're probably a little bit reliant on copying versus studying. So try to ask yourself questions as you draw. Try to remember the purpose of what you're doing. You're not trying to copy the image, you're trying to learn how this is actually structured so that you can incorporate it into your actual art, right? So I'm not worried that this is like obviously it's not exactly proportioned, but what it is doing is it's teaching me like, okay, we've got this hand structure, right? We've got this, I'll call it like a thumb structure even. Like where is that sitting on the antler? It looks here like it's sitting on the top, right? So that makes me think that, okay, this is the top, it curves around, there's that top line. So here's the top line here, but here's the top line here, right? So all that stuff's gonna help you, I think anyway. Another artist that I don't know if we shouted out or not is Easel. You guys should go follow Easel too if you're not following Easel. And for anybody who's participating in the art gym, if you do participate and you are a streamer, we will give you a shout out anyway. So Yeah, if you participate and we know you stream, make sure you tell us if we don't know that you stream. But yeah, if you're in the Discord and you post there, or if you want to post on Blue Sky, some people prefer posting like as a reply to a Blue Sky comment. So I always try to, I forgot to mention that on today's. But if anybody wants to reply with their study here, here is a link to that Blue Sky post. Oh no, why did it not copy? Oh, because I'm dumb, that's why. Hold on. Why can't I do anything? There we go. Here's the Blue Sky. Yeah, of course, Esol. Oh my gosh, yeah. Everybody probably is already following you in my community, Esol, at this point, but in case somebody isn't, make sure you follow Beauty Esol. Esol's art is lovely, and she's a lovely person. It's a fun stream to hang out on. Yeah. Yeah, Spicy Jaw is another person you guys could follow. Spicy does art as well here on Twitch. Did some really incredible watercolor pieces that I was watching the other day. Very, very cool. Fierce Car Wheel of Gratitude. Yeah, no worries. You are good. You are good. Okay, and then you can also post a link in chat. That's the other way to get your study. So I'm not trying to get people to like force them to feel like they have to join another Discord. I totally get it. There's like a million Discords out there. I am kind of saturated on Discords myself right now. I actually need to go through them. I went through a few the other day and found some inactive ones. I'm like, okay, I will just leave this one. But it's hard. Like, I want to be involved in a lot of communities, and a lot of them I'm in there because there was something I liked about the community. And it's like, shoot, I don't want to leave the Discords. But I'm maxed. Like, I can't add anymore until I delete some because I have a free account. And I'm not paying Discord to let me join more Discords. That just feels, I don't know, feels wrong. I think that's Nitro, right? Is Nitro the one, or is that... No, boosting a server is different than Nitro, I think. I don't know. Anyway. Point is, don't feel like you have to join the Discord. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of a texture study on this one just because there's some really nice bumps and values that I really like on this set of antlers. And then I'll try and do another one before we look at the studies. So speaking of your studies, whether you're doing antlers or something else, you don't have to do antlers if that's too specific or you just don't feel like it. You can do any kind of study as long as it's from observation. But yeah, feel free to drop it in, like I said, in the chat, in Blue Sky. As long as it's work safe, put it in Discord and we'll show that stuff on stream at the end at about 10:45. And then at about 11, we are going to be doing the monthly art showcase. And you guys, I swear one day I'm gonna be a real pro and I'm gonna have like a fancy little like showcase overlay. It's gonna be all cute, but that has not happened yet. So I apologize. But just, you know, pretend that I know how to find time to do these things and that I did that. Okay? Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it. Today's your 4-year stream anniversary. Aw, you're gonna try Drop Pile for the first time. Awesome. Yes, I like Drop Pile. Test it first. Make sure that it's working. Have somebody, because I think you can set a password to Drop Pile just to keep randos out. So just test that and see. But yeah, I mean, I would say maybe have a mod, keep an eye on it. The one thing that I ran into when I've done a live Drop Pile is it's really hard for you to moderate it and stream at the same time. So like, I would definitely see if you have a mod that's willing to just like keep an eye to make sure you don't have somebody popping in who's just like scribbling on everybody's stuff, because that's not cool. But yeah, other than that, I think you'll be great. It's fun. Need to keep a mini. That's a good idea to keep a sketchbook in the car, actually. Got in there to get inspiration and learn from studies. Aw, Casey Corner is a must. Aw, Spicy. I don't want anyone to feel pressured though, because I know that there's a lot of Discords, but I really appreciate that you are a part of my Discord community. Thank you so much for being there. Yeah, what Amaze said, basically. Does it get out? No, it doesn't usually get out of hand, especially if you're password protected. And usually if it's like, it's just like the random person who pops into your Twitch chat, if they see the link, they might click it and not know what it is. Sometimes it's not malicious. Like, we had somebody who I'm pretty sure was not being malicious, just didn't understand how it worked, and they started kind of like going crazy in there. So just maybe have a mod that can like boot somebody if they need to, or limit somebody if they need to. But you can actually self-assign your own layers in draw pile, so even if someone does scribble on your stuff, if it's set to your own layer, they're scribbling on their own layer, and you can just delete the scribble layer, and their layer will be fine. So I think it's actually a pretty good tool for preventing like damage to a drawing. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. Your off days you seem to be drawing. Aw, I'm sorry, Zentra. I don't know if the earlier time helps at all with people. I'm hoping it helps, but I just use the browser version, Easel, yeah. I just use the browser version. But yeah, get in there and play with it a little bit first, I would say, and just make sure that you're kind of familiar with it, and then see if you have a mod that's willing to kind of keep an eye on things in there. Otherwise, it can be a little hard if that happens. Like, I've had sessions before where nothing bad has happened and a mod was not necessary, but I guess it's better just to make sure, just in case. Oh, thanks, Kudo. I appreciate that, yeah. I like these textures a lot. They have these really fun little bumps at the base. Oh my gosh, sorry, hold on. Sorry about that, guys. There's a lot of pollen in the air right now, so I'm assuming that's why I'm sounding a little froggy. But, yeah. The whitetail and blacktail deers, like some of these smaller cervids, they have these really bumpy textures at the base of their antlers that you don't see as much on like elk. So it's fun to kind of work that in. And this one has texture going all the way up to like almost the tip of the tine on this bottom one here, which is kind of cool. And I like that reddish color too, so yeah. I'm just gonna do a quick color study just because I like these. Pollen maxing, yeah. I guess. I'm usually not super sensitive to it, but who knows? They say things change over time, so maybe I'm becoming more sensitive to it. My roommate is extremely sensitive to it, so I'm glad that I'm not, you know, that bad. I honestly just kind of thought, like, sometimes if I have a really rough day, my body gets a little I get a little congested and tired. It's like a tired reaction for me, and I wasn't feeling super great yesterday. So I kind of just figured I was stuffed up because I was still recovering. But, you know, it could also be the pollen, who knows. But I feel fine. Just sound like a frog, that's all. Hey, Skittle! Good to see you. You guys should also follow Blue Skittle here in chat. Incredible artist here on Twitch. Hope that, yeah, we'll see. So far it's going good for me. I haven't heard a lot of feedback from everybody else. I don't know. I know there's a few people who are like, oof, an hour early might be hard for me, but then there were some people who said an hour early would be better for their schedule. So, you know, I have no idea what's better. But hopefully now that I can possibly stream in the afternoon again, we'll see. I'm gonna do another test stream tomorrow from the studio in the afternoon. And we'll do more predictions on whether or not the stream stays live. It did yesterday, but I'm gonna go for twice as long tomorrow, so we'll see if my system can handle it. And I figure if I can go a whole without, or a whole month, excuse me, if I can go a whole month without my stream crashing, we're gonna do some kind of party. So we'll do that as if it even stays on though. Hey, Unknown Andy, yeah, we're gonna do the showcase in about 30 minutes. So we're gonna be doing the art gym showcase here in about, yeah, like 25-30 minutes, and then right after that we'll be doing the monthly art showcase. So if anybody submitted to the showcase, your art's gonna be on screen here in a little bit. And if anybody's interested in submitting for next month's showcase, there's the link. It's basically just one piece per person, no AI, no tracing, like make sure it's your work, and work safe. But other than that, feel free to post it in the showcase section, and we'll look at it at next month's showcase. So yeah, basically you have all month to submit a piece. So if anybody like missed it this last month and you're like, shoot, go ahead and submit what you wanted to right now, and then if something better happens in the next month that you'd like to show instead, just delete your old post and make a new one. So, but yeah, that's you can read more details about it on the Discord there. That one is Discord only just because it's easier for me to keep it all organized that way. But Art Gym you can submit through Blue Sky, you can submit through the chat, you can submit on Discord, whatever is easiest. Whatever is the most accessible. So many lovely artists. I know, right, Shakuri? I'm honored. I'm honored to have so many awesome artists here in chat. Oh, speaking, if they're still here, I'll give them a shout out too. Yes, we also had Evan Blair popped in earlier, so I forgot to give everybody shout outs earlier. So there's, if anyone wants to follow some awesome artists, all the people I'm shouting out are awesome. Lucky for you, you have no more points to play. Oh no, well, I'm sure you'll gather them quickly. They tend to accumulate pretty fast from lurks, or if you hang out during raids. Or if we do more predictions, you could like gamble some points and win a bunch. That's another way to do it. We're gonna do a prediction tomorrow to see if my stream stays on. So if you're around tomorrow afternoon, that'll be another channel point earning opportunity. Okay, I really like these purples that I'm seeing in these antlers. They're super fun. I wish I knew how to use these brushes better to get the texture I want, but... You're from New York, so you like pressuring people. Do I want my dinosaur stickers mailed to me? Wait, what dinosaur stick? Wait, do you want the Dinovember dinosaur stickers mailed to you, or if you get into TwitchCon in person? Oh, you mean yours? Like you made some stickers? Aw. It's up to you. Like if you'd like to mail them, I think my PO box thing is automatic anymore because I felt weird about it. But there's my PO box if you want to send them, or you can wait. I don't know if I'm gonna get into TwitchCon. It's up to you. It's up to you. But thank you. That's very kind that you want to send me some. I appreciate that. Oh, can you gift subs for channel points, Spicy? I actually didn't know that. I didn't know you could gift subs for channel points. Are you just saying that? I actually don't know anything about Twitch. Oh no, we have a Draw Me an Animal redeem. Streisman's Bristle Front. Okay, so Streisman's not helpful. That's just a dude that discovered it, probably, or described it. Bristle Front. What kind of animal could this be? Okay, so for anyone who's not been here for a Draw Me an Animal before, oops, hold on. Don't look. I totally already made the April art gen stream, for sure. File. Definitely did not just save the first time. Didn't happen. Open recent. Draw Me an Animal. There we go. So for anyone who hasn't been here before for one of these, basically it is an opportunity to... oh yeah, the Umbrella Bird. I have to remember if that one gets done again, it's got a pompadour. Okay. So it's an opportunity for me to try and draw an animal from memory if I know what it is, or just make it up if I don't know what it is, and then we learn about it together at the end. So it's a 5-minute little drawing game that we play. It can be redeemed with channel points. Easel has redeemed the Streisman. Oh my gosh, why is my handwriting terrible today? Streisman's. I feel like this is either a bird or a fish. I don't think I've heard of a bristle front before, but there's also like, what, 10,000 birds? Like, and millions of bugs. And probably thousands, if not millions of fish, so. This is why whenever I don't know what an animal is, I usually guess a bug, a bird, or a fish. Because you have like 30% chance of getting it right, you know? Just because of the sheer number of all of those categories. I feel like this is a bird. It could be a fish. But I feel like a lot of times, for whatever reason, I don't know why this is, we have a lot of birds named after the person who described them. Like Cooper's hawk, for example. So I'm guessing it's a bird. My instinct is a bird. Bristle front? Maybe it's a bird with like feathers on its nose or something. I don't know what this is. So I'm just gonna draw a thing. We're gonna draw a bird with like bristles on its beak, I suppose. Maybe some like longer feathers here. He's just a scruffy guy. I don't know. Oh, I have 5 minutes. What time is it? It's 10:17. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what this is at all. I feel like Isol has so many birds where she lives that I get a lot of birds that are like water birds. So I'm gonna guess it's a water bird. We don't have a lot of water birds, and I'm not really familiar with water birds because I've only ever lived in like plains, like high plains or deserts, and so I don't usually get a ton of water birds where I've lived. So I'm gonna say it's a water bird. But some of that is me just using easel as context, which may or may not be cheating, I don't know. Hey Bach, how's it going? Good to see you. And then we're gonna learn about it together here in a minute. I'm gonna say it's like a waiter or something, I don't know. Maybe it's got bristles here too. I have no idea what this animal could be. It's just a bristly bird. Okay, and then I'm going to make another layer because apparently I can't ever draw on the right layer ever. So I've got like 5 million layers for the same thing. Let's make it a dark bird. Watch, it's like a fish or something. Feel free to look it up on your own, by the way, chat. Just don't give me any hints in the chat. Kind of ruins the game if you give away the answer. But, you know, feel free to draw what you think it is if you want to, and then we can look at it together. I just realized I picked like the same colors that I picked for the umbrella bird. How about let's do like a bright front. Interest. Kind of want to do like some reds. I think I just like this color combination on birds, guys. Down all the long roads, mine is the heart and the soul that is all. Hold up your hand. I don't know. I have no idea. Your demons, the devil's hand. Honest man. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna say this is it. I have no idea. It's probably totally wrong. Let's find out. I did not take the full time, but I'm curious and I want to know now. So, you know, in the interest of impatience, let's look up the stress. It is a bird, right? It's not these colors. It's not these colors at all. But it does. It does. You guys, it has the thing. I'm gonna say I did a pretty good job. Pretty good job with deductive reasoning. Ooh, this one's even black. Okay, okay. One of them has crazy colors. I have to figure out which one is the right one. So this one looks like the colors I chose, pretty much. A female Stressman's bristle front. I drew a female, obviously. Yeah. Here's a Stressman's bristle front that's darker, but they have the little bristles on their faces right here. Bristle front. Man, I'm so proud of me. Yeah, this is the first thing that showed up and I was like, well, I got it wrong. That doesn't look anything, but none of these others look like that one. So let's actually go to Wikipedia and see what this thing looks like. For real, for real. Oh, there's no pictures, that's why. Okay, so when this happens, I like to take the scientific name and do a search just for the scientific name. Didn't help. Why is this one still showing up? It looks nothing like the other ones. It's even got like a little grosbeak beak. It's like not even the same type of bird. What is that? I'm gonna say it's this one. I'm gonna say it's this right here. Is that the same thing I just searched? Moralaxis stressmani? Yes. Here's an illustration of it. I got the colors right. I got the bristles. Y'all, I'm actually really proud of myself right now. Maybe I secretly knew this bird and just didn't know I knew this bird. Maybe somewhere buried in my... See, I wondered if they had like a fantail. I almost drew something that was more spiky. I kept mine kind of small. So this is what the males look like, I think. They're from Brazil, it looks like. But the female have like a reddish. It seems. Isel probably knows more about it. Let's see what Isel has to say. Nailed it? Aw, thanks. Aw, well you don't have to, Chikray, but thank you. Feel free to poke around in there. Let's read about the bristlefront. I'm sorry that there's no pictures of it on Wikipedia. That's actually kind of rare. Oh no, they're critically endangered. Ugh, I hate that. That's why it's probably not pictured, is because there's not very many. Ugh, so sad. Well, here is a picture of, I think, what one looks like, but let's read about it and see if that's correct. Oh, it says, and the slaty bristlefront form a super species. I've never heard that term. And the two might actually be one species. It has no subspecies. It's known only from 3 specimens and a few photographs. Wow, so it's an incredibly rare bird. So let's look at this, because this is going to be pretty close to it then. Oh, this one's got cobwebs in its bristles? What? Did it just skewer a spider? Wait, is that what they're for? Okay, I should read. I need to read. It's a medium-sized, long-tailed bird with distinctive forehead bristles. It measures 20 centimeters. The male is all slaty gray, with a rufous-colored chest, rump, and upper tail covered some bent. The namesake features are long, pointed bristles on the forehead. The female is cinnamon brown above with a duskier tail. Behavior. Foraging on the ground and on fallen trees in the area of forest has been seen to feed on insects. So that one just happened to have a spider on its head. That's wild. The first known stress and bristlefront's nest site was a tunnel. They're tunneling birds. That's cool. The song starts with clicks and a trill. It is one of the rarest birds on Earth. The IUCN has assessed it as critically endangered. An extensive search was performed in 2019, and the species was last seen in a tiny forest remnant, now set aside as the Mata do Passarito Reserve. I probably butchered that name, I'm sorry. Believed to be fewer than 50 mature individuals, but they don't really know. The known range is really small. Known range is 14 square miles. There's a possibility that they could have a range outside of that as well. But they are a rainforest bird, and as we all know, the rainforest and deforestation is a huge problem, especially when you have these really, really specifically evolved animals that can only really live in a certain tiny environment. It just makes them really, really vulnerable, unfortunately. Oh, that's so sad. Well, thank you for letting me know about this. We are going to do an endangered species series coming up sometime this year. I think in May is Endangered Species Week. So I'm probably going to be picking some endangered species to focus on, and I would love a list of cool endangered animals that you guys think deserve a spotlight, and we'll probably just have a bird's day or a lizard day or a cetacean day or whatever, so people can pick their favorites. But yeah, this is really cool. I want to see if this one eats. Nope. This one just happens to have a spider impaled on its face. You guys, I can't get over that. I'm sorry. That is so funny. I was like, is that a hunting strategy? Can you imagine? Wouldn't that be cool though? Because then my brain is like, what if there's dinosaurs that hunted like that and just had spike faces and just rammed their faces into prey and then shake it off when it's dead and eat it? I don't know. It doesn't seem effective, but it is really funny to think about. It seems like the beak is going to be more effective to skewer something. But yeah, you like its tail feathers? Yeah, they're really cool. Well, thank you, Isel. That was a fun one. If anyone wants to learn more about this animal, I will link you to the Wikipedia page. Wikipedia is a great place to learn more about creatures. Very fashion forward. It's a spider hat. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I got pretty dang close. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a 90% on this one. You know, I added bristles where they didn't need to be added. The tail's not quite long enough. But I'm gonna say for not knowing what this animal was, I did pretty good, so. There we go. Okay, back to the antlers. Anyway, that is the Draw Me Animal game. For anybody who wants to redeem that, it's every 30 minutes that can be redeemed. It just derails me for about 10 minutes talking about animals, which I'm fine with personally. You guys are helping me justify my my animal rabbit holing on Wikipedia, basically. So thank you. Thank you for the what's the word? The enabling. I appreciate it. Yes, birds are dinosaurs, it's true. You're in the right place to ask about endangered species. Yeah, endangered, seriously, I'd love to know more. More of them for sure. In fact, if anybody, I tried to look this up a few times. I thought there was an endangered species day, but I think there's actually a week. And I want to say it's in May. I'm still building out the rest of the year's calendar, but I am planning on doing some art gyms focused on endangered species, which I think would be really fun, so. Okay, anyway, let's get back to it. Where are my colors? Where did I put my colors? Ah, on the lines layer. That's where they belong. Absolutely. Yep, totally on it. Ooh, I love this reddish. I'm not sure if this image has been like photoshopped at all, because some of these colors do look pretty intense, but I really like them actually. And this is like good inspiration too for like an image. It almost makes me want to draw like a character or a creature with really brightly colored like red horns and make that kind of like a design focal point. Which again, this is why I always say that like if you're stuck and you feel like you're in art block a little bit, like you don't know what to draw, do some studies. Go look at some cool reference photos. Go look at some cool art that inspires you. You're gonna start wanting to draw stuff based on what you see. A lot of times, for me anyway, if I'm feeling a bit art blocked, I know it's because I haven't filled my creative bank account in a while, meaning I haven't like done studies or taken time to look at other artists' work and get inspired and fill it up with something new and inspiring to create out of, right? Or I'm just tired. Those tend to be the two reasons why I experience art block. And a lot of it is fear. I think sometimes when people say that they're having art block, what they really mean is they're afraid to fail. They don't feel like they can, or maybe this is just me projecting, but I know for a long time that was me. I'd be like, oh, I'm having art block. Like, I just don't know what to draw. I don't feel like drawing. But really it was more like, I don't know how, like it was a skills issue, basically. Like I didn't know how to execute the thing I wanted to draw. And so I felt like I couldn't do it. And I felt blocked, I guess. But there's lots of reasons it can happen. But I feel like the worst case scenario, if you're feeling art blocked and you decide to do a study and it doesn't help you, worst case, you still gained a skill. You still took one more bad drawing out of the pile of bad drawings you have to make in order to get to a good drawing. So still a win, still a net positive. The nice and also intimidating thing about art, right, is that there's always more to learn. You never arrive. You can always be better. You can always try something new. And that's the exciting part, but it's also like can be a little frustrating and intimidating because you're like, but I want to arrive. Like I want to be at the place that I'm trying to get to. And when you first start out drawing, it's easy to look at an artist you admire and be like, oh man, I would be so happy if I could draw just like that person. But then what you don't realize is the longer you draw, it's like that benchmark, that post of like, I will have arrived when I get to this place. As you move up, that benchmark keeps moving ahead of you. Like it's this thing you're constantly chasing. And you can kind of let that either excite you or it can make you feel discouraged. And there's like kind of just two ways to interpret that. And I think the trick is to turn that into like a fire underneath you, to be excited about what you can learn next and what you could improve on, rather than let it be like a weight on top of you to kind of make you feel like you're never gonna arrive. Like there's a turning point you get to at some point in your art journey where it's like, oh, the point isn't the arrival. Like the point isn't I've finished the task of being a good artist. The point is there's always more to learn, right? And that's kind of what we're here to remind ourselves of too at the art gym. At least that's what I'm here to remind myself of. I guess I can't speak for literally anybody else, but that's me. So. Oh, hold on, sorry guys. I forgot to get more water and I think I need some. Yeah, I am becoming quite froggy. So sorry. Let me just sketch in this guy's head really fast and move on to one more antler study, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the art gym stuff in about, let's say, 10 minutes or so. So if anybody is still working on a study and you wanted to be a part of the little show and tell for the art gym, remember it doesn't have to be antlers, it doesn't have to be anything I'm doing here. You can just do a study whatever you'd like, but you've got about 10 minutes or so if you are somebody who likes to have a time limit. So we're gonna look at that then. If you don't finish in that time, please don't like rush, like get what you need to out of your study. We're gonna do another art gym tomorrow. So you always have until the end of the next art gym. So basically you'll have all day. So take your time, don't feel like you have to get it done right this second, and get what you need to, learn what you need to out of it, and then share it with us when you're ready. We'll be for the foreseeable future anyway, we're gonna be doing art gyms Monday through Wednesdays. So we'll always have an opportunity to share. Oh, gratitude jar. Yeah, let's do that. Hold on. I happen to have that right here. Oh, sorry guys, one sec. Okay, hopefully that helped. I don't know why I'm so stuffy sounding right now. Maybe I do have an allergy. Okay, so the gratitude jar. For anyone who hasn't been here for a gratitude jar thing, it's a very cheesy redeem. There's a reason we have a lot of cheese around here, by the way. I'm a cheesy person. I like cheesy jokes, all that good stuff. But the gratitude jar is this. So it's something that I do every year, and I've kind of invited Twitch chat to help me remember to do it because I've been so busy lately. It's been hard to find time or just to remember to make time to do this. But basically, what I do is I will write down on a slip of paper. So I keep this little kit by my door in my bedroom, and I have these pre-cut slits of paper, and I write on them the date and something I'm grateful for. It can be something big, it can be something small. It could be like a general thing that you're grateful for, or it could be an actual event that has happened. Like whatever it is that you're grateful for in that moment, you just write it down. So let's see. Today is April 1st. I am grateful. I don't know if I wrote this down already. I don't think I did. But I'm grateful that I was able to get my printer set up, and grateful that so far, well, I guess I'm grateful for two things. I'll write them all down. Grateful that Prince Charming works, and that the test stream yesterday didn't crash. So that's what I'm grateful for right now. We'll see if I am eating that gratitude on Wednesday if it crashes, but for now, that's what I'm grateful for. Yes, Prince Charming is the name of my printer. So I write it down on this little sheet of paper is what I'm trying to say. Open my gratitude jar, stick it in there, and then I'm not going to read that again until New Year's Eve. So I open this jar on New Year's Eve, and I go through all the little slips of paper. And for me, it's just like a way to reflect on the year in a positive way, because I'm sure you all know this, like you've all been alive before. So you know that sometimes years can be hard. And it's very easy to look back on a rough year especially, and just feel like the whole year was terrible. Like, oh, I hate this year, like nothing good happened, it was awful. And there are some years truly where like it's really hard to find the positive. But I do feel like even stuff like, you know, I had a full night's sleep last night. Like it can be as simple as that. Or I had a really good lunch, or like a bird was singing outside my window. Like it can be little things too. But I think it really helps to have something like this to look back on at the end of the year, just to kind of reflect in a positive light. Because our brains are wired to pay attention to the negative, and that's what we tend to remember. That's why you can have 9 amazing interactions with someone, but then if you have 1 negative interaction, it can really color your opinion of that person, or of that place, or that event, or whatever. And so I think finding ways to be intentionally grateful for stuff, for me anyway, it's just really helpful. So thank you for redeeming that, Miss Art Rules, and thank you for helping me have something to read on New Year's Eve. So. Hey Paleo, how are you? It's good to see you. Yes, very cheesy, Rue. Very cheesy. Okay, let's do one more. I'm gonna do one more deer study, and then we're gonna look at the art gym stuff. Folks, if you are doing some studies, if you missed it earlier, if you were lurking, but you were studying and you don't know where to submit, you can submit it into the Discord. You can submit it onto the Blue Sky. Here's the post. Or you can just like, however it's easiest for you to like take a picture if it's traditional or whatever you need to do. Or you can post a link in chat when it's time to do the looky-loo stuff. So whatever is easiest for you, if you want to participate. I'm gonna pick one more. Let's do a moose. Moose have very distinctive antlers. I'm probably gonna regret this because they're also extremely complex, but I'm just gonna pick a moose anyway. For those who don't know, yes, moose are deer. They are cervids. Did you know that they can also be piebald? Are you guys aware of this? Moose can actually be painted. We would call this like a paint horse, but the technical term is piebald or skewbald. I forget the difference, but moose can have lots of interesting little patterns. And here's one. I don't know if this is real or not. It looks like it is. Here is a extremely piebald moose. That terrified me. I don't know who did that, but my Spicy. I've literally felt my heart go into my throat because I just wasn't ready. But yeah, moose are really fun. I'm not going to draw a piebald moose. I just wanted to show you guys because I think they're cool. I think it's really cool that moose can have like spots and stuff and be so different looking. I didn't know that until pretty recently because I'd only ever seen like the traditional moose. But speaking of traditional moose, I am going to draw one. So let's do this guy. Can I shove an unfinished drawing? Not really a study. Yeah, thanks, Maze. Yeah, so Art Gym is for studies specifically, just to encourage people to do more studies. So if it's not a study, there's lots of other places. We have an art share, we have a works in progress share for sketches, or if somebody wants to show progress as they paint on something. It's just kind of a way to keep things from getting lost. But the only one that really matters is probably the Art Gym, just because we do a showcase and all that good stuff. But if you ever do a study, feel free to post it in there. As long as it's from observation, it counts as a study. If it's like majority from imagination, or the point of it doesn't seem to be a study, I don't know. It gets kind of confusing, especially if you're, I guess, a newer artist, the difference, because sometimes you can be like, well, I used a reference to make this piece, but that doesn't make it a study. So like hyperrealists, for example, obviously use reference. But the purpose isn't to learn with a hyperrealistic image. The purpose of a hyperrealistic image is to recreate exactly something. I wouldn't call that a study, even though they are working from observation. It's still gonna increase your observation skills, but you're pushing towards something different. It's more about technique and understanding your materials and how to get certain effects. It's not as much about learning how to remember how to draw this thing. So yeah, it's kind of fuzzy, I guess, but what I would consider a study, if you're curious, is pinned at the top of the Art Gym, if anyone needs that. But it's not like, it happens all the time that people get confused, so don't feel like you're going to be in trouble or anything. But thank you for asking. Okay, I'm going to move this. We're going to do one more little study here of the moose, and then I'm going to look at what you guys did for your study time. I'm trying to keep all my studies together, but it's not always working. Okay, there we go. I'll just draw above it, I guess. It's gonna be kind of awkward, but hey Kev, how's it going? It's good to see you. Uh-oh, we have some, Traditional Moose is a band name? Yeah, probably. There's probably a band called Traditional Moose out there somewhere. Kev, do we have some scientific fun facts about deer? Okay, here we go. Guys, get ready for some science. Total, legit science, absolutely not made up science. Okay. Fact number 1. Deers are nature's menaces. Look at them. Look at their eyes. They're up to something. I mean, for the moose, for sure. Okay, maybe. I'll give that one a maybe. 2. Casey doesn't really care about deer? What? In her opinion, they're nothing to be fawning over? Oh my gosh. Kev. Hold on. I can't read the next one until I throw cheese at you. You know what happens when you're cheesy around here. If you encounter deer in the wild, the best way to scare them off is to give your best door-to-door salesman impersonation. Deer are notorious for not having any money. It's true. It is true. Kev, thank you as always for your incredibly scientific fun facts. You happen to know so much about like everything we do here. It's really impressive. Thank you for your impressive knowledge base and sharing it with us. Hope you're doing well. Also, it's good to see you. Hey, Blue Wolf, how are you? Good to see you too. Oh yeah, I see Andy. Yeah. How do you come up? Yeah, I know, right, Miss Art Rules? What would their hit single be? Probably a pun. Probably something about antlers. Or big noses. Or actually, did you guys know I learned the name of this thing? Do you guys see this thing dangling at the bottom? Ah! Struble! Oh my gosh! Struble! Gosh, that's a huge raid. Thank you so much for bringing your community here. My goodness. If you guys aren't following Struble already, make sure that you do. Struble, thank you for bringing your community here. We are nerding out about moose right now, but we're doing the Art Gym, the warm-up streams, to study and practice and encourage each other. We're actually just about to do the showcase part where, oh my gosh, thank you guys for these follows. That's very kind. where people can submit their studies, and we're going to look at them together here in a minute. And then we're going to do the art showcase for the last month's art submissions. We're going to show right after that. So we're about to get into like a huge showcase. So thank you so much for bringing hopefully some art appreciators with you. Welcome in Khaleesi. Hello, hello. And welcome in Struble, of course. If you have any art you want to share, I'd love to see it. You know the drill. As long as it's work safe, we'd love to show it off. While you're getting that set up, thank you to the follows. I don't know who you were because I can't see it right now, but I do appreciate you. Here's what I tend to do in the afternoons. I'll show you. My name is Casey, by the way. I'm actually at my living room right now. In the afternoons, on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'll be at my studio streaming. We actually just did a test stream yesterday, and it worked because it was broken for a while. I had a lot of tech issues. But it worked yesterday, and so we're going to do another test afternoon studio stream tomorrow. And if you come back, I'll be working on this. Well, not this specifically, but this type of project. It's called my Sea Slug Dragon series. I basically like to look at sea slugs, kind of nerd out about them a little bit, and I let chat pick the sea slug, and then I will design a creature based off of the things that inspire me about that sea slug. So it could be their attributes, like this one obviously is very tentacly, so I drew a dragon with lots of tentacles on it. You know, this one I don't have the picture with it, but look it up. It's the Sire's Nigra, I think. It's this really beautiful orange and black, stripy, insane looking one that has these like clove looking tendrils coming off of it. Anyway, I like to do it on the first Wednesday of every month, and we haven't been able to do it in a while because I haven't been able to stream from the studio. So anyway, if you want to come back for the Sea Slug Dragons tomorrow, that's what we'll be doing in the afternoon. But I sometimes also do stuff like this, like digital illustration. I'm trying to get into kids' books or, you know, book covers, graphic novels, that kind of thing. So a lot of times in the afternoons, you'll see me working on paintings like this. So if you like digital art, sometimes I do traditional art too. I've co-streamed a couple of times with Isol, and she's teaching me how to oil paint. So we're hopefully going to be able to do another one. Yeah, post your link. But usually it's stuff like this. So if you like this kind of thing, and the occasional traditional stream, I do sculpting too, if I can get to that. I have a webcomic, !drift, if you want to read it. Oh, here it is. This is Harvey Dent, the Parasaurolophus. He was named Harvey Dent because I burned half of him when I baked him. But you can't tell because he's all covered and painted now, it's fine. But we do sculpting at the last shoot of the month as well. So anyway, that's what I do in the afternoons. In the mornings, Monday through Wednesday, at 9 a.m. now. It's actually a new, earlier start time this month. We're trying out 9 a.m. warm-ups, and we'll see if that helps me with my schedule. But so far I like it. Today I've chosen to study Antlers, but people are always welcome to study whatever they want. The idea is it's like the gym, how you need an accountability buddy to go to the gym and show up and work out. I kind of feel like I need that with art, and I think a lot of artists do need that with studies for art specifically. So this is kind of the workout for art, right? You're drawing from observation, you're practicing your studying and observation skills so that you can become a better artist from imagination. So this is like the hard work, basically. Anyway, let me see what you got up to. People go to the gym, why I know. It's hard. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. Yeah, anytime you want to drop that link, Struble, just let me know. I'm happy to show it here on stream. Here we go, perfect. Oh my gosh, Struble, these are so stinking cute. You guys, look at these. Look at these cute panda bears. Oh my god, Big Head Jack is hilarious. Yeah, if you guys aren't following, Struble, I know my amazing mods have already gotten you a shout out, but we'll get you another one as soon as I can get, nope, that's not right either. Why won't it let me shout you out? Struble. What the heck? It's not letting me shout you out, Struble. I'm so sorry. If a mod could shout Struble out again, I don't know why it won't let me. But anyway, go follow Struble if you guys aren't. This looks like the awesome work they were working on today. Has very cute art. Struble is fun to hang out with. Very nice person, and just a really fun, cozy art stream. So if you haven't already followed Struble, make sure that you do. Thank you so much again, Struble, for bringing your awesome community here. And thank you to, who was that? Khaleesi and Chili Arts. Thank you so much for those follows. I appreciate that. Yeah, do. Yeah, Struble has support your Strube of choice. Yes, well, Struble is my Strube of choice. So, but thank you all for being here. I'm gonna draw this moose, these moose antlers, and then we're actually gonna get into the show and tell piece. So if anybody wants to stick around to see some more really cool artists here on Twitch, I'm actually I'm extremely lucky that so many awesome artists like to hang out during the art gym and actually study along with me, and then we'll show the work on stream. And so if you are interested in meeting more cool artists here on Twitch, don't go anywhere, because we're not only doing the art gym show and tell, but we're also doing the monthly art showcase today. Usually I do those in the afternoon, but because of tech issues at the studio, I just wanted to make sure it wouldn't crash while I was doing it. So we're doing it after the art gym right now. So, or in like 20 minutes basically. But let me draw my little moose, and yeah, we'll get to showing stuff off. But Struble, thanks again. These are so cool. Thank you so much for sharing your awesome art and your awesome community, and for raiding in. If you have to raid and run, I totally get it. Please don't feel like you have to hang around, but I appreciate you being here. Like Highlander, yeah, exactly. Oh, hey, welcome back, Love. Good to see ya. Yeah, go make dinner, Khaleesi. Thank you so much for hanging out. For anyone who's curious about the art gym, we don't always do like animal stuff. Sometimes we do. We did planes and jets the other day. We've done architecture. We do a lot of figure studies. Portrait practice is something like, these are all things I need to work on. I need accountability with. So the reason I stream it is so that I will actually do it, because otherwise I'll find excuses not to do studies. But when we do the studies, I like to talk about kind of how to study, at least how I approach studying. Please keep in mind that things that I say, it is not gospel. Like, I don't know everything. I'm not a pro. You'll hear me say that a lot. Like, I just am trying to get better. I'm trying to learn. So I invite whoever wants to learn and improve to join me if you want to. Is pretty much the open invitation. Yeah, oh, thank you for the lurk. I really appreciate that, seriously. Lurking is love, as Pyro Kitty keeps saying. It's so true. Yeah, it's your favorite mammal? Oh, moose, really? Hey, Bots, how are ya? Bots and Magic is another awesome artist who hangs out here. Very honored to have you here. Okay, so what I like to do when I'm doing these studies is I like to quickly sketch in the shapes first. And we talked earlier about when you're drawing antlers, if you kind of think about the anatomy of an antler, it's going to help you kind of break down your reference. And this will also help keep you from like doing the copying habit versus studying. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to find the main beam, the top palm, the rear point, all this stuff. And you can find that in any kind of an antler. You can find that in elk, in whitetail, and yes, in moose. So if I was looking at this, trying to find that beam, so if you look at the character of the beam is like, that's where everything seems to grow from. It's like the general gesture, it's like the general direction of the antler is basically decided by how that main beam grows, right? So like with these, it's forward, with these, it's backwards. With moose, it's kind of interesting because they have these huge palmate fronds basically that stick out from the back of their antlers. If I was going to pick a main beam for this animal, I think what I would pick would probably be this right here. So I would say this is the main beam, right? So if you think of it that way, it's going to help you kind of parse out the reference. So here's that, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the main beam right here. And so everything behind that, so this is like, if I were to choose a different color, like what did they call for their rear top palm or whatever? So for the top palm, this would be the top palm, right? And you can see it comes out the back of that main beam. So it's all over here. This pink one, they call this the bez. I don't know if that's true still for moose, but that's what I'm gonna call this right here. And then you have those little front pieces that I would call the shovel. Now I could be wrong about this, right? And I think there's actually a second one here that I drew over on accident, but anyway, so you can see if you break down the antler, it's gonna help you figure out how to actually draw it. So that's what I recommend doing as you're drawing. Oh, here it is. It's this way. But just remember, every single time you see antlers, picture it like hands holding a sphere, right? So they're kind of pointing toward each other. So the sphere here is obviously like really big, but this beam is pointing to this beam. See that? How they point at each other? So if you keep that in mind, you can kind of learn how to figure out how to draw antlers from any angle, right? Because you're remembering that those top beams are just kind of creating the main structure of a hand that is holding a sphere pointing at each other. If you want more details about this, click the link at the top of my chat and you'll find a whole series done by this amazing artist named Velks that I found years ago. I found this on DeviantArt, but I think they're on Twitter as well, and they've posted it there too. But there's like 3 or 4 of these images that talk about like how to draw antlers and how to break down the anatomy. And there's even a step-by-step one. So if you really want some like step-by-step tutorials, feel free to draw from that, and you can share that in the art gym too. Like following a tutorial, drawing from observation, drawing from reference, anything that's a study, something with the purpose to learn, is going to be what we're here for, you know, at the art gym. Okay, speaking of, let me go ahead and do my study really fast, and then we will start looking at what you guys did. So I'm gonna keep those things I just talked about in mind. I like to just kind of loosely draw the face, just to make sure I'm getting the proportions right, because remember, you want to make sure that the antler is the correct size in proportion to the head. You don't want to practice something that's not correct, because that's going to reinforce a bad habit, right? So checking for proportion before going to detail is really helpful. I'm trying to draw that main beam. I'm thinking about the shovel, or the palm, whatever you call it. This one I might be going a little short because it's next to this other drawing, so I do want to make sure. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Make sure that I'm at least close on proportion. Sketch in those little fronds really, really quickly, those tines, if you will. Palm at the back. You can see one of them kind of goes behind a little bit. And keep in mind, they're not always totally symmetrical either. They can be pretty close, but a lot of times you'll see antlers that are a little bit asymmetrical, and sometimes a little bit of that asymmetry can actually lend itself to realism. So try not to get too caught up in like precise. See, that one's like stabbing the one ahead of it. Hold on, can I move this? What layer did I draw this one on? Okay, let's move you slightly. Blink. Make a drawing from, oh yeah, April Fools indeed. Yeah, let's not do that. Not my favorite. Oh, thank you so much. I don't know why my little chat bot's not working. I think that's on MooBot. So I don't always see everybody's name, but thank you for the follow. Zier, I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. I'm gonna say for anybody who's finishing up a study, you've got about 5 minutes. About 5 minutes, and then we are going to look. And then we will do the art showcase. And if anybody is like, oh shoot, I wish I had known there was an art showcase, that would be really cool. I would love to have my art on screen and shown to people on Twitch. You can still submit. It's just we will show anything that's submitted this month. Like, you basically have all month to submit to the showcase. So you could submit right now, and then if you change your mind later in the month, you can delete that submission and submit a different one. You're welcome to include social links, talk about whatever the project is that you're showing off. It's kind of a little self-promo opportunity, as well as like, here's a piece I'm really proud of. Just remember, it's one piece per person and no AI or tracing. Like, it needs to be something that you made. But it doesn't have to be a drawing. Like, you can do ceramics, you could do had textile art before, like whatever kind of art you're working on that you're proud of. Post it in there, we will show it for the next showcase. So that way you know you're in. You know, you don't have to worry about forgetting. That's what I would do if I were you. Oh, and we have an ad break, shoot. The ad break snuck up on me. So I'm gonna pause for a second. We're gonna stretch during the ads. That's what we normally do during ads, is stretch. Here we go. So yeah, if you can hear the sound of my voice, this is your friendly reminder to unshrimp yourself, chat. So if you would like to unshrimp yourself, just you know, take your little hunchback and just overcorrect. You're gonna overcorrect by arching your back, so you're kind of stretching backwards. And I like to push my shoulder blades together to sort of, I don't know, just like help flex those shoulder and neck and back muscles and kind of strengthen them a little bit. And you're gonna hold, you're gonna like flex while you hold, right? And you're kind of pushing your shoulder blades together to try and like almost pretend like you're cracking a walnut or something between your shoulder blades. And you're gonna hold that for about 20 seconds and then relax. And so when you relax, it kind of drops your shoulders into a more upright, like natural for you posture. Don't relax right back into this. Yeah, shrimp mode. Yeah, don't relax back into shrimp mode. But you know, like if you notice your shoulders starting to roll forward, like especially if you're a side sleeper, you may not even realize it, but your shoulders are actually rolling forward when you're side sleeping. So I struggle with this. I'm actually trying to make myself a back sleeper again so that I can fix this a little bit. And I just don't want to have back issues when I'm older. So that's the reason, that's my motivation for trying to fix my posture. But if you're noticing that in yourself, just kind of, you can even do some shoulder rolls, but like try and push your shoulder blades back. Anytime you notice a hunch or shoulder roll or anything like that, And it's gonna, over time, kind of correct those muscles and re-fix them where they should be. Back sleeper gang. Hey, Cup of Joe, how are you? Yeah, I used to be a back sleeper, but here's a funny secret Casey lore. Well, not that secret, because I think I've talked about it before. Thank you so much, Sky, for that follow. So I used to, and sometimes still do, get really bad sleep paralysis. And it turns out sleep paralysis is more common when you sleep on your back. Like, you're more likely to get it if you're a back sleeper. For whatever reason, if you're on your side or on your stomach, you almost never get it. Something about that muscle posture and your brain, it just like makes it, like, if you already have this problem, you're more likely to have it as a back sleeper. So in college, I used to get sleep paralysis a lot, and it freaked me out before I knew what it was. And then when I found out that just switching to being a side sleeper could eradicate it, I was so desperate not to have that experience anymore that I became a side sleeper, and it worked. And I pretty much, anytime I've ever had it, actually every time I've ever had sleep paralysis has been when I've woken up on my back. But it's not good for your posture to sleep on your side. So I'm trying to just have healthier day habits and get good exercise so that I sleep more soundly, because that can also help prevent sleep paralysis. For those who don't know, sleep paralysis is like this weird in-between state where you're like conscious while your body is physically asleep, and so you can open your eyes but you can't move, and it's a very terrifying feeling. So I swapped it, but I'm noticing like I've had kind of like posture issues. And I'm like, okay, part of having posture issues is not sleeping on your back like you're supposed to. So I'm trying to go back to being a back sleeper. For the most part, I'm a back sleeper these days, but sometimes I do wake up. It's just, I feel so cozy when I'm like on my side too now. It's kind of hard to be like, okay, I'm not late, like I'm in a coffin right now. But no, it's getting there. We're getting there. And welcome back from the ads, everybody. Hope you had a good stretch break. That's all we do in the ads, by the way, if you missed it. So yeah, there you go. I don't draw anything while the ads are going on, just in case people don't want to miss out. I don't know, maybe you're grateful for the chance not to hear my rambles. I'm not sure. But Art Gym's going good, Cup of Joe. Yeah, we're actually about to get into the showcase. We're doing 2 showcases today. We're doing the Art Gym showcase here in a minute, and then we're about to start the monthly art showcase. We just got a really generous raid from Struble, so now we have all these friends here to look at everyone's art, which is really cool if anybody wants to meet some more artists here on Twitch. Here's the showcase deets if anyone wants them. But yeah, thanks for popping in. How are you doing, Joe? And Melimini, hey! What kind of antlers would I like to wear? Fallow deer, for sure. Fallow deer antlers are awesome. Although they'd be really, really inconvenient, actually. But they're one of the only other deer that have palmated antlers like a moose. So this is a fallow deer antler right here. This is not a moose. But do you see that, like the webbing? That's called palmated. And I think that they're really cool. They're also really tiny. Like if you look up pictures of a fallow deer, you're gonna think this thing is like the size of an elk. Like it looks really impressive. But then when you see actually how tall they are, they're like this tall. They're really small. They're really small, and they're so cute. And we have some here at a farm up the road from me that I visit sometimes. I think they're pretty neat. I was so excited the first time I saw them there because I'd never seen one before, but I'd heard of fallow deer, and I was like, wow, you guys are tiny, way smaller than I thought you were. We'll look at some fallow deer pictures in a second. What kind of antlers would you like, Melimini? They would look amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. By the way, if you guys aren't following Melimini or Cup of Joe, you guys should go do that too. We've had so many awesome artists in chat. I'll get you guys a shout out here in a sec. I just want to finish this moose sketch because I really would like to show off the art gym folks, because I know there's some people who are kind of waiting around to see their work on the screen, so I want to not take too much time on my moose. Oh, I know, but I like to give the shout-outs. It's fun. Our Twitch is great, and it's been very nice to me and very supportive, so I'm happy to return that, even though I'm sure everybody already knows both of you guys, because you've both been around the community way longer than I have. Like, way, way longer. But still, you never know. You never know. You can keep antlers, yeah. I think you're allowed to in most places. You'd adorn them with ribbons? I don't know what I would do. I think I would just be excited to have antlers, honestly. I'd probably put them on my wall. Like hang them up so that I could take them down like a hat anytime I wanted to wear them. Like, oh, I'm feeling kind of antlery today. Alright, I kind of messed up the proportions on these. What's the deer? Yeah, exactly. The deer doesn't need them anymore. So I think it's okay to pick up antlers you find. Plus, sometimes you find really cool ones. Like if you can get to them before they decompose, you can find like the really weird, like lopsided ones that usually hunters won't go for, and they'll kind of still be around. I think some of the like irregular antlers are some of the coolest ones. Hey Yak, how are you? It's good to see you. Oops, hold on, I just started my stream somehow. You got 2 hellos, Yak. One from me and one from my past self. Giving things antlers to make fantasy creatures. Oh, for sure. And there's such good variety too. That's why I think it's a good thing to study, is because it's not just for like creature designers, but a lot of like they can be incorporated into character designs, to motifs, to architectural design. Like they're just really cool. And I think it's the way that this person laid out how to draw an antler and like the anatomy of antlers, I have found extremely helpful. Like if you can find that main beam and just remember that there tend to be like things going out this way and things going out this way, they all sort of fall into that line, and it really helps with the thinking behind antlers, and it keeps you from doing just like this. I feel like this is a really common antler or just like, you know, that. If you actually kind of understand it's kind of the way we work at the art gym, right? But it's like if you understand the structure of what you're drawing, then you can bring that into your imaginative, and you could design fantasy antlers from an animal that doesn't exist, and it would still look believable because you understand the basic anatomy of reality. And that's the point I always try to drive home with the purpose of doing the art gym. The purpose of working from studies is not to make a perfect replica of an image that exists. That's hyperrealism. You can totally go that way, but that's not the purpose of what we're trying to do here. The purpose is we're trying to fill our creative bank accounts, you know, fill our visual library with new information, with new understanding, with new observations that we can then pull into our imaginative work. And the only way to do that is repetition and practice and observation. But that's kind of like the workout for the artist, right? Nobody really wants to do that. It sounds boring. You know, I want to draw my OCs. I want to work on my own projects. I want to do my own thing. And so like, I need accountability to get this stuff done, and I just presume others do too. So thank you all for being here and being my accountability buddy. If nothing else, I appreciate that. Twin Casey's, yeah. Yeah, it is helpful, right? Yeah, if anybody wants this little thing right here, there's actually a series of these. There's like 3 or 4 of them. If you click the link at the top of my chat, go to the anatomy board of that Cervid whole section. You'll see the antler anatomy stuff in there. I think it's really helpful. Antlers are a doozy. Hey, Fox Confessor. Yeah, it is a really good guide, right? Oh, that reminds me. I think I'm supposed to start my event on Discord. Did that start already? Oh, it did. Okay, good. I try to post events of special stream things like the showcase that we're about to do. I try to post that. My boards are top tier. Oh, thank you. I actually spent a lot of time on my Pinterest boards. I try really, really hard to only put photographs in there to make sure that there's no AI, nothing even really heavily photoshopped on my Pinterest. At least I try not to. Half of them are things references I have lugged around for a long time, like since high school, and I finally manually uploaded a lot of them to Pinterest, so they're definitely not AI. Yeah, if anybody wants to use that board, I'm constantly putting new stuff in there. There are some boards that need a little more organizing, like the birds. Oh my gosh, there's so many birds, you guys. I'm trying so hard to get them organized, but it just helps me find what I need a little more quickly than just hoping and praying on Google image search. So if you can find it useful, or if anybody finds it useful, feel free to follow it there. It's almost exclusively art reference. Lately I've been pinning a lot of like cool character design stuff because I really want to do more character design work. I am not good at character design. I want to work on my shape language. I want to work on my visual storytelling. We're actually going to be starting a new stream series later this month on the 14th. I think it's the 14th. Called Character Camp is what I'm calling it right now, because I don't know. I don't want to sound super official like Character Boot Camp, because then it makes it sound like I know what I'm doing, which I don't. But we'll be doing, it'll be like a chat-led character prompt. So like chat can submit words, just like whatever words that would describe characters, and I'll pick like 3 or 4, put them on the screen, and then we'll have like an hour or 2 to just design as many characters as we can using those sets of words. So the challenge will be like, how can I use these 3 words to make like 4 very different looking characters and still apply to those words? And like for me, I'm hoping it's like a way to stretch my thinking about humans and characters. They don't have to be human characters, they can be animal characters. But like how can I diversify the way that I draw things? Yeah, character design is not my forte, like at all. But all that to say, if you follow my Pinterest and you see like random visual like viz dev art, that's why. Like I also pin environment design. Like I love concept art. Who doesn't, right? It's what got a lot of us drawing. But I would love personally to get better at character design so that I can be a stronger book illustrator. That's kind of my goal. So anyway, sorry for the ramble. Or a horn-decked beast from higher sphere delivered. This feels like a quote to like a famous poem I should know, but I don't. Sorry. Yeah, don't applaud me. I don't get it. What are you guys quoting? Now I'm curious. Character design, Ungoy. I think there's only so many letter K's we can use before it starts to get a little sketch. Hey, Ultimate Pumpkin Pie, how are you? Good to see you. I'm gonna quickly color in these antlers, and then we're going to look at your art, guys. So we're gonna go into the art gym section. Last call for art gym stuff. If you did a study of any kind today, or if you had one that you did pretty recently that you are proud of and you want to share, that's fine too, as long as it's work safe. Like especially with figure drawing, just make sure it's not going to get me in trouble here on Twitch. But feel free to post that in the art gym section of the Discord. And then after we do that, we're going to look at the showcase. The monthly art showcase. It was supposed to start right now, but we had some raids and I got a little behind, predictably. But if you're here for the showcase, don't worry, it's going to start in just a second, I promise. I just really wanted to finish this one last study before we got into it, so thank you for your patience with me, everybody. And thank you guys for lurking, like, holy cow. I'm honored, honestly, to have people lurking here. Even if you don't know you're here, just know that I appreciate you. The support means a lot. Oh, and also, since I'm only able to do these warm-up streams 3 days a week because of my day job, for anyone who doesn't know, I've actually been posting daily VODs of the warm-ups. They're scheduled to post out through June before we're caught up, basically, to like real time. So if you want to do a daily study, if you want to see some of the past art gym streams and watch me be super awkward and feel really insecure about making a bad drawing on Twitch, you can follow my YouTube channel. And those will be daily, like in the morning at 9 a.m. every single day until June. So there's one that just posted a couple of hours ago, probably. Or if you just want to follow me there to support, that's also appreciated. Apparently something fancy happens when you hit 500 followers on YouTube? Question mark? So I think it might be something to do with being able to monetize. I'm not sure, I need to look into it, but it's like one of the first benchmarks. And I'm going to start live streaming on Twitch and YouTube for the art gym streams starting in June. So if it can help with that to be at 500 followers before that happens, that would be cool. But I'm also realistic, and I know that not everybody uses YouTube or like uses it for live streams. So, you know, just a little like arbitrary goal of hitting 500 followers by June. If you want to help with that, you can follow me at that link there. And you can also get some daily warm-ups. So if you like warm-ups that are random, and then you can call me out when we do one that's the same, because there's a few that we've duplicated. You have 500 on YouTube, but the platform is overwhelming. Yeah, I know. I don't know what to do either, but I know that I want to cross-stream on YouTube and Twitch eventually, and I just figure a good time to do that would be once I'm finally done with the backlog of art gym posts, because like I spent most of was it February? It was either February or March, uploading like all of the art gym VODs and putting detailed descriptions, and it took forever, but they should all be scheduled to post out until June. So, and then after that, it's just going to be like auto posting, like not doing that again. You're going to try double streaming? Nice. Yeah, let me know how it goes. I think I've heard there's a way to do that through OBS. I honestly haven't looked into it yet, but if anyone has tips, I'm super, super interested in tips on that, definitely. That's what I've heard. I've heard it's really simple. You just need to run different audio. So yeah, I do have a stream safe track that I run on VODs for Twitch. And so I'll just have to figure out how... I wonder which track list it takes, because if it takes my VOD track to YouTube, then I'm fine. If it takes my live stream track to YouTube, that's what will be a problem. So, Stream Elements OBS plugin. I'll look into it. Yeah, thank you. I'll look into it. Thank you. YouTube's lack of latency makes streams screwy. I don't even know what that means. Ultimate Pumpkin Pie. But thank you for the heads up. I will look into that. Okay, I'm gonna call it here because I'm running a little behind schedule. So I'm just gonna say these are my antler studies for today. Did an elk, a white-tailed deer, and a moose. Let's go see what you guys did. So I'm going to go into the Discord. I'm also going to check Blue Sky really fast. If anybody would prefer not to join another Discord, but you still want to participate, you can also reply to my post on Blue Sky. I don't think anyone posted there. I checked a little bit ago, but let me just check one more time and see if anybody did, because I don't want to miss anybody. I don't think so. Okay, so I'm not missing anybody there. So let's go to Discord. So what I do in the Discord is I go... I'll show you guys what I do. This is my schedule for the month. Oh, yeah, let's check. Yeah, character camp. That's going to happen on the 14th. Sorry, my calendar is so low res, but 14th. So I'm going to go to the art gym first, and then we're going to do the monthly showcase after. Okay, so if you post anything in the monthly art showcase, just make sure you read the pins at the top. Like most of my channels, except this one apparently, if you click the pin, it'll kind of give you like what the channel is for. You can also like read the descriptor. But I'm going to go to the art gym. We're going to scroll to the last thing we looked at on stream, which was the studies from last week. Wow, that was a while ago. And then anything below that is what we will share on stream. So basically you have until the end of next stream to post something in here. So please don't rush if you're still doing studies. But we're going to start off, and if we know that you stream, we will be happy to shout you out. So if we don't know you already, let us know that you stream. If you posted something in there, we will shout you out. Let me close some of these tabs also so nothing breaks. You do need at least 2 MB upload speeds. Okay, I do have that at the studio. That's good to know. Thank you, bot. It's a pain, no chat moderation, or very bad. Yeah, the chat moderation was my biggest question, actually. Yeah, that's unfortunate to know. I've heard that chat modding is tough on YouTube. And you aren't allowed to reference the other platforms due to that. Oh, really? I see people reference Twitch all the time on YouTube streams. Oh, but you can't like link to other social media? That's okay. I'll have to look into that. Thank you, Yak, for the heads up. Okay. So first up is HTMZ. HTMZ took their sketchbook out into the world and drew from observation in the world. This is always, always, always recommended. If you don't already carry a small sketchbook with you, start. I have one in my purse I carry with me everywhere. I'm terrible about getting it out to sketch sometimes. But HTMZ is setting a great example here, and HTMZ also streams. So if anybody isn't already following HTMZ, make sure that you do so that you can catch a lot of his streams. He does a lot of study streams. He did Skulltober back in October. It was really impressive. But does art streams here on Twitch. If you're looking for a new artist to support, make sure you follow. But these look fantastic, HTMZ. I'm really curious what this is. This looks like a very mechanical, maybe like a toolbox or something. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but I can tell you're drawing from observation, right? These look fantastic. Great studies. Very interesting. And I can see the frustration too. That is the downside, right, to drawing with traditional media. It's harder to get rid of the evidence when you don't like a drawing, but I think you're doing a great job. You're setting a great example, and it's really cool to see your drawings from life. So thank you so much for sharing, HDMZ. Talk to Stats about it? Oh, okay. He's thinking like you are streaming to both, but has concerns. Yeah, I know quite a few artists that stream to both, and I've definitely heard them reference Twitch live. Like Kasem streams to both. The other artist who is also huge on YouTube streams here as well. I forget his name, starts with a B. Somebody linked him in my stream share recently. If you ever find cool artists, by the way, that you guys think others or me should check out, feel free to drop them in stream share, or any streamer that you think is cool. That's for everybody, not just for streamers to post in. Anyway, I know it's been done, but I haven't looked into the details like you're talking about, so thanks for the heads up. We love small sketchbooks, right? This next one is from Kudo. Kudo happened to draw a deer this morning from reference and didn't know it, but they were participating in the art gym. Maybe it's a Twitch thing, not wanting YouTube. Yeah, so what I've heard is you can't have your YouTube chat on screen. on Twitch. So Twitch just asks that you basically prioritize Twitch experience over YouTube. That's what I've heard, and I'm okay with that either way. That's fine. Especially if there's less moderation on YouTube. I probably don't want the YouTube chat on stream. But yeah, I'll have to look into it more. Kudo also streams here on Twitch. Thank you so much for getting that shout out for Kudo. Amaze, I appreciate that. Kudo, this looks fantastic. I love the fur detail. I like the expression. There's obviously a little bit of your style in here. Like it's, you used reference to make it, but it is very, like there's like some character going on, but it looks great. Great job with the shading. The antlers look great. The face, I love the nose. You did a really great job studying the nose. Like I can tell you're really looking at the picture and the nose and how the deer nose looks right there. So well done, Kudo. This looks fantastic. And if you guys want to go watch Kudo, Kudo streams here on Twitch too sometimes. Definitely make sure that you do. Look at these colorful hearts. Let's do a deer. Deer, deer, deer. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. And here we have one from Miss Art Rules. Miss Art Rules doing some studies. Oh, these are so cute. Miss Art Rules, I love it. Really nice job paying attention to the caribou horns. Those are really tough ones to tackle. Really, I can see you had the main beam. You were like really paying attention to all those pieces. Well done. I like that you dated it as well. Sometimes it's easy to forget, but I always kind of wish that I would date more of my sketches. So good practice right there. But great job with the structure and in the form of everything. Well done. I'm gonna get you a deer as well. Deer. Very nice, very nice. Thank you so much for sharing with our rules. Coming down here to the next one, we have a maze. Oh, we have similar taste in moose, I see. Maze. Well done. This looks fantastic. Oh, is there a moose? There is a moose emote. Look at that. I didn't know there was a moose emote. Well, now we all learned something new. Thank you so much for shouting Amaze out, Rue. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, our wonderful mod Amaze also streams here on Twitch. Does character art, animation, has been doing a lot of animation lately. Comic work. So if you're looking for another awesome artist to follow, Amaze, well done. Fantastic job on these antlers. Like, holy cow. Really, really good, careful observation here. Like, these look spot on. And they look spot on without feeling copied. They feel like you really understand that it's a three-dimensional form, right? Like I feel the depth of it, you know? You've got all the angles right. The face looks really nice too. Amaze is amazing, it's true. He'll never admit it, but if you guys want to go support an amazing artist here on Twitch, go follow Amaze. This looks great. Thank you so much for drawing along, and for, as always, for modding and helping out too. Fantastic drawing. You had to do English studies for another project. Nice. So you've had a little bit of practice recently. That never hurts. That's for sure. Sedulos. I forget. Sedulos is here on Twitch, but I forget. Sedulos, if you're still here, feel free to speak up in chat and let us know if you stream. I can't remember. I feel like the names are different on Discord and Twitch. But you said you have these wooden cubes and you've been using them to practice perspective and observation drawing. That's awesome. That's awesome. To anybody who's looking at this, like, why would you want to do this? This is actually, it doesn't look like it probably, but this is like one of the fastest ways to understand how to work in 3 dimensions. Like if you're struggling with making your drawings look like they are living and not flat, do this. Get some cubes, you know, and stack them in various ways and pay attention like Sedulos is doing to the values, to the angles. Like you can even draw perspective lines. You know, like if you were to take, I can't draw on this, but if you were to like follow these straight lines, they would all go to like vanishing points, right? And you can learn about vanishing points. You can learn about how to draw in perspective. Foundational studies like this, you're never too good at art to not need to do this every once in a while. It is very good foundational practice. I need to do more of this. We did a foundational perspective one study like months ago. We should probably do another one. But drawabox.com, fantastic walkthrough resource if anyone is looking to start at the foundational art skill level and just kind of work your way up. Doing something like Drawbox, and it's free, drawabox.com, I think. Fantastic way to get better. But yeah, just getting like some Kleenex boxes, honestly. You don't have to have wooden cubes. Like you can find something that's cube shaped and just practice with this. But fantastic idea. These look really great. Great values on all of these, especially the really complex, like stacked ones. Very impressive stuff. Yeah, big round of applause for sure. Mechanical drawing in junior high. Yeah, it's that stuff that you like. Again, this is like prime art gym fodder. Like this is the kind of drawing that everybody's like, oh, I should do that. I don't really feel like it. Like that's almost always the next thought. And this is the kind of stuff that we need to do more of if we're gonna get better at our craft, right? Or if you want to get better at drawing or observation. So even though it's not as exciting as drawing from imagination, it's still super, 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 super valuable. So Sedulos, thank you for your excellent example of what we should all be doing. This looks fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm gonna find it. Can I find a cube? Yeah, cube. Oh, Sedulos, there you are. Is this the same person? Do you have advice when the vanishing point is outside the sheet? Yeah, not really, honestly. I think that's just one of those things you just get as close as you can. Like if you're working with an actual ruler, you can tell, like if you start to draw a light line and one of them looks sort of off, it looks like it's got way more of an angle than the other two, you can kind of catch yourself on that even without finding the actual vanishing point. And for anyone who doesn't know what a vanishing point is, really quick, I could just do like a really quick example. Probably a lot of you do, but if we have anyone who's like, I don't know these terms. It's like if you're drawing a cube, right? This is not going to be a totally accurate cube. But if you're drawing a cube, basically you have this like imagined inside, right? The vanishing point is going to be where, see, this is already not, like this should be more this way and this should be more this way. But basically the vanishing point is like if I were to keep drawing these lines this way, eventually they would meet, right? And so a way to know that you've got your angles wrong, like, is if one of these lines, I'm just going to draw a wonky cube. Like if one of these lines doesn't look like it's going to meet, like those are obviously going in the wrong direction. Or if it's like too much, like, oh, this one's like moving a lot closer and more quickly than this one, right? Now that could be intentional too. Like if you have like a weird fisheye perspective, sometimes that is like, you get these elongated forward points, but that's a little bit more advanced. That's the best I think I can say. If anyone else has advice in the chat as well about vanishing points when they go off the page, but there's a lot of programs like in Krita, you can use a perspective grid. I think it's this, and you can actually like make your vanishing points, so you can like have them on screen and see how it like shows you what it would look like, depending on where you put the points and stuff. So it kind of can help you a little bit. I do not remember how to get these off. There we go. My Krita perspective grid does not work well in this setup, so I don't tend to use it because something is wrong with the way I set up my Huion, I think. But yeah, working digitally might help because you know those grids are gonna be solid. But if you're working analog, you know, on paper, I would just say you could extend your paper if you really want to and find the vanishing point. Personally, I would just say kind of eyeball it. You can usually tell pretty quickly, like if one of your lines isn't necessarily looking like it's gonna meet in the correct spot. Yours all looked great. I'm assuming you are the same Sedulos that was in Discord. I feel like your name used to not match, but maybe I'm just misremembering. But thank you so much for sharing. These look fantastic, and I look forward to seeing more from you. And last but not least, we have one from Yangularu, who's doing an incredible architecture study. Like, Rue! You make it look so cool, and yet I also know that the minute I start drawing this, I will feel like I am just submerged in tedium. How do you do this? How do you get excited about this? These are my questions. This looks incredible though. If you guys aren't following Rue, click that heart right there. Make sure you follow Rue. Does really great art, does a lot of animation on stream, is obviously very powerful. I don't know what jetting means. I'm assuming it's that like stacked like this is jetting. I didn't even know that. See, that's interesting to me. But like drawing it, I don't know how you have the patience for this. Like if a drawing takes me longer than 10 minutes, I'm like done. That's really my issue with architecture and perspective drawing, is I just get so bored with grids and perspective. But Rue, you killed it. You knocked it out of the park. This is fantastic. I need to like absorb your patience and your focus. You gotta prepare for an animatic. So that's a good way to yeah, I guess if I'm under a deadline gun, then yeah, I guess I can find the motivation. But like finding this kind of focus outside of the deadline is rough. But that's awesome that you have a goal and you did a study to help you meet that goal. It's a fantastic study. The structure is incredible. I'm really curious to see what reference you used. Like, I kind of want to pin whatever this reference photo is to my Pinterest. So if you have it, feel free to post it somewhere. For fun personal project, yeah. I mean, personal projects can provide great deadlines though. Like, if you're really motivated to get a project done, I mean, you can burn the midnight oil a lot trying to make them happen. Rue, this is a fantastic study. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick before I forget is I'm going to post a screenshot of my little derpy antler studies right underneath Rue's, and then that way I know where to pick up for next time. So tomorrow, if anybody is still doing studies, or if you just got here and you're like, shoot, that looks like fun, but I didn't know that was a thing. Oh shoot, hold on. How do I get rid of this, like, weird? I don't even know if that's the right color. It's not. Oh, that bothers me. Okay, I can't edit in this. Never mind. It's just gonna be there. I'm gonna post this in the Discord. And that way, anything that's posted below mine, I will know to look at tomorrow on stream. So we'll be doing that tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And let's see what the theme is for tomorrow if anybody wants to prepare. You can always go to stream schedule here in the Discord, check it out. Tomorrow is Sea Slugs! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited already. We're doing Sea Slugs tomorrow because we're gonna do Sea Slug Dragons tomorrow. I can't wait. Okay, we're doing that tomorrow, so if anybody wants to get a head start. But you don't have to do that either. You can do any kind of study you want. So that was the art gym. So thank you everybody for being here for the art gym. We're gonna go down to the monthly art showcase right below the art gym. I'm gonna scroll through really fast and make sure that we're in the right spot here. Okay. Yep, everything looks great. I don't see anything that is not work safe. So well, let me just check this really fast actually. Didn't even think about that last night. Okay, yep, that was good. Okay. We're gonna go to the very tippy top. So basically what I do for the showcase is we will scroll to, I make this little post whenever submissions are closed. I put this little line, it just kind of tells me where to stop. And so everything below that line is what we're going to look at for the showcase. Now, if you were just now learning about the showcase and you're like, shoot, this looks like fun, I want to submit, I wish I would have known, go ahead and submit. I know I said this earlier, but we might have people who just popped back in from lurk and you're like, what's going on? There's the showcase info. You can read more about it if you go to the pins, like right here at the top. Just go to the pin messages. It tells you kind of like, here's the deal. Basically, here, the only thing that's not allowed is this, and please make sure it's work safe. But it's one piece per person, and you have all month to submit. So the entire month of April, you could submit a piece to the showcase, starting right now, and it'll go until the very last hour of the last day of April. Okay, so Pacific time is what I picked. Now there were a couple people who posted kind of on the borderline of that time. I went ahead and included them, mostly because I wasn't there. It's just easier for me to find the stopping point if I do that line. But just try to, you know, I'll try. I might in the future if we start getting a ton of submissions. It just helps me keep it organized. So if I know it's just like, hey, the month of April is this, the month of May is this. But for this time, because it was so close, I went ahead and just included them. But yeah, anything posted from here on out is going to be for next month's showcase. So just keep that in mind. So first up is Rue. I'm going to read what she wrote and then we're going to look at it. Rue says, I finished up 4 commissioned animations for an upcoming documentary on bats. It looks so exciting. And white nose syndrome, which is really important to know about. They'll be premiering the full documentary in the next couple of months. Oh, you have to keep us posted. I hope you do, Rue. Let us know. You got your pieces done in a little under 3 weeks. And I thought it was fitting to share their website. Oh yes, they have a place to donate right in the front page. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so here's the website. I don't think, this doesn't have your animation in it though, right? I don't think so, but click that link if you want to check out the documentary. I looked at it earlier and it's very cool. Here is my favorite animation of the 4. Very cool. Oh, this is so exciting. Here, let me pause my music just in case. I don't know if there's sound with it, but here is Rue's animation.
If you're a farmer, when you have bats flying around, you could rely on them to provide you with free biological pest control. When they go away, you'll notice that there are more insects and more crop pests lying around on your field, and you decide to compensate with using more insecticides.
It's true.
Many of those sprayed insecticides get blown away by wind. They make their way to the drinking supply, and that means that people that are not on the farm get exposed to insecticides.
This is great, Rue. Like, your transitions are awesome. Let's watch that again. Let's watch that again. Oh, fantastic. I know we just gave Rue a shout out, but this is fantastic, Rue. And I love that you're a part of something so cool. I know we just gave you a shout out for the art gym, but if anybody didn't follow already from the art gym, follow for the animation. Rue does this animation live on Twitch when she streams, and it's so impressive to watch.
Flying around, you could rely on them to provide you with free biological pest control.
I think that might be a little loud, so I'm going to turn it down just a little bit.
You will notice that there are more insects and more crop pests lying around on your food, and you decide to compensate with using more insects.
This looks so good.
Many of those sprayed insects
Like your little, I love how you move everything from scene to scene.
away to the drinking supply, and that means that people that are not on the farm get exposed to insecticides.
Oh, so good. And you got the guy's expression there. That's great. Now, is this the finished animation? Is this a sketch? I have so many questions about this project. But Rue, this looks awesome. I'm gonna let it play on mute just for a little bit so we can enjoy it one more time. But thank you so much for sharing. Really, really incredible, incredible animation. If you, like I said, if you guys are not following Yangulu already, please do. It is, the director wanted a blackboard with chocolate. Oh, cool. I love that. And I'm assuming you got the approval and everything and it's all like good to go. This is great. This is so good. I feel like this is the kind of animation, like your animation style is perfect for this kind of a gig too. I'm also really curious how you heard about this gig, but it's awesome that you got picked up to do this. Congratulations on having some animation in a documentary. That is so exciting. I'm seriously so stoked for you, Rue. Again, if you guys aren't already following Yangulu, click that link and go give a follow. Does incredible work here on Twitch, and we're lucky to have her. It's finished now. Yeah, perfect. That's awesome. Well, congratulations again. That is incredible. Thank you for sharing. Love to see it. And yeah, I'm excited to see the others and see the documentary. I'll have to check out that website and see like where the documentary is going to be available at. So cool. Yeah, I know, right, Isol? All right, next up we have Kudo submitted here for the showcase. Kudo says, for this month's showcase, I would like to feature this animation. Oh, another animation, right? That I did of Kudo breathing lightning during one of her own storms, because this is the best animation I've done in my entire life. Well, awesome. Honored that you want to share it here. And then here's all the links where you can follow Kudo if you would like to. Kudo, this looks really great. Oh, fantastic. So was this just for fun, or were you going to do was this for a specific use for you? I love it. This looks really great. You've really been putting in the hours with the animation and it's showing. I feel like you're advancing really quickly. I hope you're having fun with it. It looks like you are. Really, really nice. We animating this month. Yeah, there's a lot of animators, a lot of animations happening. So if you guys want to go follow Kudo and watch Kudo do art and animation, you can do that here on Twitch as well. Yeah, I gotta love all the animation, right? Let's do a lightning. Is there a lightning bolt? Yeah, it was storm. Here we go. Awesome. Awesome. Very well done. I love all the glowing lightning bolts in the clouds effects are really nice too. This looks great. Yeah. Good snarl. Yeah, the little raised muscles on the face look awesome. Good expression for sure. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Thank you for sharing, Kudo. Here we have Santroa. Okay, now Santroa is Santroa Arts here on Twitch, so we will get you a shout out. Thank you for spelling that out. I sometimes forget. But yeah, Santroa streams on Twitch. This says, and it has a blue sky link here, this is Pyro Kitty. This is Santroa's lovely, lovely partner, and who also streams. And this is really, really nice. I love these glowing rune effects. Is this a new overlay or something for Pyro? If you're in here right now. Anyway, if you're not, that's okay too. Oh, thank you, Pyro, for getting that shout out. Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. This looks great. I love just how well your style goes with environment. I feel like putting a character in an environment is really hard, and you make it look really easy. Like, this feels very natural to me. A new image for the birthday stream. Oh, awesome, awesome. For your birthday stream. I had a community jigsaw puzzle going in the background. Oh, cute. I think I was able to make part of your birthday stream. Or maybe that was your follower party stream. I can't remember. I don't know. I try to make as many streams as I can, but I hope it went well. This image is really, really cute. It was very sweet of you to draw that for Pyro, and you did a great job. I think this is lovely. This is very professional level. I know, right? Yeah, if you guys aren't following Centroa, Centroa, tell us when your next stream is so that we can be sure to check it out. Feel free to let us know. Because I know sometimes the schedule is a little hard right now, but this looks great. I like the values are great. The glow is beautiful. I love that the glow, like the paint is glowing. That's really fun. Like painting with magical paint. It's, yeah, great storytelling. This is a great illustration. You have great character design skills, like great environment skills, good storytelling with your image. Like solid work. Very impressive work. Yeah, I know, right? Right, Bribelet? Yeah, this is fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, Santroa. I wonder if there's like magic. That's not quite the right magic. Well, how about sparkles? We'll do sparkly magic. Yeah, sparkles. Beautiful. Oh wait, there's already sparkles. Oh well. There you are. Looks awesome, Santroa. Stream alert animation that you're most happy with. Oh yes, this looks so good, Amaze. Yeah, fantastic. Oop, I clicked I got too excited. Clicked the settings. Can I make this bigger? There we go. This looks so good. If you guys, I know we just gave Amaze a shout out as well for the showcase, or the art gym. But here it is again. If you forgot to hit that heart, if you forgot to hit follow, make sure that you click that link and go give them a follow. The next stream is when you can squeeze it in. Yeah, either later today or Thursday. Okay, good to know. I'll keep an eye out. Yeah. This one is the new sub animation. Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. I love this power up to your like mecha wolf design. Very, very cool, Maze. This is awesome. This is a great animation. I'm sure it took a long time, but it's so smooth. This is a really, really good one. I'm glad you're proud of it. You should be. It looks fantastic. So if you guys go follow Maze and you sub to him, you'll get to see that that animation pop up on screen. Very, very cool. Yeah, wolf indeed. Let's do a blue heart too, because Amaze likes blue. There we go. Blue and yellow heart. Perfect. Well done, Amaze. Alright, scrolling down to the next one, we have Cold Case of Creativity, who also streams here on Twitch. Yeah, the transformation is really good, right? You know, I think you nailed it, Amaze. Cold Case of Creativity says, I am making French skirts now. Hope to become a sewing instructor someday if I'm able to learn enough. My mom and brother teach too. I have a t-shirt order that I'm printing for the teachers at my mother's school for Autism Awareness Month. Aw, that's awesome. It is awesome to be able to work with schools, yeah, for sure. As somebody who used to be an elementary school art teacher and worked with a lot of autistic kids, I love that. These printable, and just kids in general, but you know, it's very cool. These printable fabrics came today, and I'm excited to try out some custom design skirts soon. Oh, that's awesome! So here we have a skirt design. Very cool. And I wonder, Cold Case may stream actually some sewing here on Twitch. I feel like when I've gone in there, it's been drawing, but let's give a shout out to a Cold Case, I'm gonna spell this right, of creativity. Did I do that right? I think I did that right. I hope that's the right person. I think it is. I think I spelled it right. Thank you, Rue, for checking. But yeah, that's where you can follow. If you aren't already following Cold Case of Creativity, make sure that you do. They do games. It looks like we're playing Path of Exile 2 recently, but also do sewing. And I've definitely walked in there and seen some art making before. So if you like a variety streamer, if you like a nice person to hang out with, Cold Case is a great choice. And maybe you'll learn a thing or two. If you are wanting to pick up how to sew, I'm sure they'd be happy to share some tips with you guys. So thank you so much for sharing. Remember, like at the monthly art showcase, I love to see a variety. Like it doesn't just have to be, you know, drawings or hand-drawn things. It's really cool to see some textile art. We've had quilting before, sculpting before. So yeah, absolutely. Show us all the art, folks. We love to see it. Thank you so much for sharing, Cold Case. And here we have one from HDMZ, a little side project of yours, made an emblem for a Warframe clan, and it's an elephant knight. I love that. Elephants, as I mentioned earlier, are my favorite animal, so. The two there is just how it started and how it finished. Oh, okay, I see. So how it started is here and how it finished is here. Yeah, you redid it a lot. That's the thing about logo design. Man, logo design takes a long time. Even if you have like a really simple logo, it's like deceptive how much work goes into making a logo sleek and readable and like work. So it's not an easy thing to achieve.
Fantastic job here. I like seeing the before and after, honestly. I love the like hard graphic edges you put to this. It's very stylized and very clean and looks really, really cool. Yeah, make sure you guys, like I said, HDMZ we gave a shout out to during the art gym for the sketches, but like I said, HDMZ does all kinds of things on their stream, so make sure you go follow if you aren't already. I might be a little biased because I love elephants, favorite animal, but I think it's really cool, and I like what you did with it. I think it's very successful, and thanks so much for sharing. It's, like I said, it's really cool to see the sketch and the final product. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Yeah, Warframe clan symbols take surprisingly a lot of thought and design. Yeah, I mean, any kind of symbology or logo design is incredibly complex. Yeah. Fit the rules and still be visible. Oh, and there's like design rules. Yeah, that does make it harder too. There's a reason I don't take on logo client work. Because it's tough. Alright, this one we have from Zushi Cat. I don't know if Zushi is in the chat, and I can't remember if Zushi streams. I think Zushi does stream. Yes, they do stream. I think it might be Zushi Cat, but I'll have to look it up in a minute. If a mod wants to look it up, feel free, but if not, I'll try and grab it. Zushi says, at around the start of the month, I decided to redesign the Jurassic franchise raptors. Nice. To how they would look as velociraptors, or animals. Tried to learn more about the names of the skull parts, too. That's awesome. That's awesome. Different structures on faces of birds and archosaurs. Yeah, this sounds like a great project. You can see Zushi's blue sky right here. Thank you so much for finding that. For finding that for us. Rue. These look so cool, Zushi. I need to do this too. I really need to do a skull study and just like practice like labeling and identifying the parts of the skull. Like this is such a helpful practice that I really need to set. I don't know if it's something I could stream necessarily because I don't think it'd be that interesting to stream. But I really need to learn more about, like I've heard a lot of these terms, especially like hanging out on Paleontologist's channel. He just like uses these terms, but I wouldn't be able to, I don't think, point to most of the skull and be able to like tell you what it's called. Like I can know the basic ones like the dentary and the orbital and the mandala, you know, the mandibular part of the jaw, but like there's some of this other stuff that I just don't know. Same thing with like general bone anatomy. I need to learn the names of. Your redesigns are great. So for those who don't know, I was actually watching a Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong video about this on Sunday, just for fun, because I'm a dork. But, so like Jurassic Park notoriously is more monster movie rather than actual animals. They tried to fix it a little bit in Jurassic Park 3 by giving them quills, which I thought was pretty cool actually, and I was kind of sad that they took those back for Jurassic World, because it's like, this looks way better. But I think it's really interesting to see like, you know, like this kind of like dished face is really more the shape of a velociraptor. And as a lot of you know, velociraptors are not as big as they were depicted in the movies either. But it's really cool to see like a redesign using the same basic like patterns. Like you've got those orange with the stripes and some of the same basic things, but you're just trying to like put it into like how it might have looked if this were the animal in nature. This one's probably my favorite one because, I mean, the quills were a good move, guys. I'm really happy with the quills. And who's to say that their whole heads were feathered, right? They could be like, you know, buzzards or something and have just the fleshy head and neck. So that was totally reasonable. I do like that you added like the dewlap and stuff, like some of the stuff you see in modern birds that have a lot of like fleshy display characteristics. The eyes do look really good, and I feel like you kept really close to the original with the eyes, which was really nice to see. Sushi. This is beautiful. I love the way you reinterpreted Blue's design. Really pretty. Love what you did here in the face. Yeah, go follow Zushi Cat if you aren't already, guys. Lovely artist here on Twitch, and has done a lovely job with these Jurassic Park redesigns. These are fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing and inspiring us with your awesome pieces. Yeah, those were Utah Raptors without the yes. So they're more closely, actually, so like technically they're more closely, I think it's Deinonychus was the known large raptorid or whatever at the time. But yeah, a Utah Raptor was found after the movie was made, and they're like, oh, this is the Jurassic Park Raptor. Like this is like pretty much the size. So yeah, they're a lot closer to Utah Raptor in size and in facial structure. Because Utah Raptor has more of that like kind of blocky, big like Tyrannosaurid almost, or like Carnotaurus type face. But yeah, these are great. These are great, Zushi. Thank you so much for sharing. These are really cool. Redesigns of movie designs are always a good time. Yeah. But like, I do remember reading something somewhere. I wish I could figure out where I read it. But we're like, basically somebody called up Steven Spielberg, like a paleontologist, like, hey, we found your raptor. And it was Utah raptor. Because they were like, we found a raptor that looks pretty much like the raptor that was in Jurassic Park. So, I don't know. It's easy to get them crossed. And here we have Shuratoshi just killing it with this epic fantasy painting. For those who don't know, Shuratoshi, and also hi Salamander, how are you? Shuratoshi also streams here on Twitch. So if you guys aren't following Shuratoshi, we'll get Shura a shout out here in a second. I can grab it too if all the mods are busy. But this is a fantastic painting. I just get lost in the details. The wood textures especially, super, super interesting looking. Yeah, thank you, Mace. Heckin' goals, I know, right? Shura is too powerful. If you guys want to go be impressed by an amazing artist, click that link right there. That shout out that Amaze just got for Shura. He streams a lot. I wouldn't even be surprised if he's streaming right now. He probably is. Incredible artist. You could probably go watch him doing something amazing right now. So very honored to see a piece from Shura. And it looks great. Like, I don't know. Shura is just too powerful. Like, I love, speaking of antlers, like, look at this cool structure coming out of the head here. But yeah, the textures in this character design are just out of this world. Very, very cool. Love to see it. Yeah, Sloppy. Sir is indeed, yeah. He streams probably like 40 hours a week. Like, he's constantly streaming. I'm not surprised that he's streaming right now. This is so pretty. And the background is really nice too, even though it's a lot more brushy. It still gives me plenty of information about what's going on. Like, we got this like foliage structures, this cliff over here, the shadows are excellent. I like that blue coming in from the back. Like, I swear Shura is like on the path to becoming a Magic the Gathering artist or something. Like, incredible artist. So if you are not following Shura, you're missing out. Make sure you do. Thank you so much, Shura, for sharing. This looks incredible. I'm gonna put a tree because it's a tree guy. Tree. Very, very cool. Shuratoshi. Yeah, exactly. The lack of background just kind of brings you more to the foreground, right? Exactly. Here we have from Briboette. It's a little extra, but I have my painting thesis shown. Oh, that's awesome. That's your thesis. And this is all the work you're preparing for it. That's amazing. Yeah. So it is supposed to be one piece per person, but we are going to take a minute just to look because it's very cool to see this much work. I would love to see this one up close, especially. That is incredible. Holy cow. I mean, these are all good, but there's just the color contrast, like the bright clouds and the dark city and environment really caught my eye. I think we've seen this one. Maybe. Some of these look familiar, but I don't think we've seen all of them. This is incredible too. These look great. Good luck with your painting thesis. Are these in acrylic? Are they in oil? Briboette sometimes streams. Briboette doesn't always stream, but just in case Briboette decides to stream, you guys should totally go follow Briboette. I think I accidentally walked in on a stream one time. It was like right at the end, so I couldn't say hi. But yeah, these are incredible, and thank you so much for sharing them with us. Like I said, we're not going to spend too much time just because I want to be fair to everybody since it's supposed to be one piece per person, but they are very, very nice. And it's really cool to see them all together like this. I don't know when your thesis, do you have to defense? Is that what they call it? I don't know when that's happening, but I hope it goes well for you. It's all oil. My gosh. Oh, I hope that room is well ventilated. That's incredible. I don't even know how you do that, to be honest. If you ever stream in oils, I'd be super interested in watching you. It's more of an exhibition. Oh, okay, cool. That's still very cool. I hope you do well. I don't know if you can sell things at an exhibition show, but I hope you sell things if that's your goal. And these are awesome. Be sure to get some high resolution scans if you don't already, because I bet you'll probably want to at least make prints of some of these if they do sell. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. It was James Kirkland. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was probably... I didn't want to say Jim because I wasn't sure, but yeah. Bottom reminds you of Arcade. Yeah, it does. They're super impressive, yeah. So this one is the last one, I think. Oh no, this was from yesterday. Okay, there's a few more. A recent commission I made for a client from Gremlin. I haven't drawn much for myself lately besides some chibis. It happens. Sometimes it happens when you're just caught up in client work. This is awesome. Oh, I love the colors. Really nice job on the buildings and the perspective on them too. Gremlin I saw in chat earlier. Thank you, Pyro. We can, when it gets a little closer to 0, we can probably pause those. I don't want to make you guys sit through another one. There it is. I don't know, Gremlin, I don't know if you stream. Looks like you do. Perfect. So there you go. There's a shout out for Gremlin. If you want to go watch Gremlin, a new friend of ours here on the channel, thank you so much for dropping in. It's cool to see some of your work. A lot of times people are, don't always share their work right away, so it's always fun to get to know somebody and then get to see their work pretty shortly after. Very, very pretty. Love the colors. And like I said, great job with the perspective on the buildings. Like again, just me looking at buildings, I'm like, ugh, I'm so tired just looking at this. Like thinking about drawing it. But love the final effect. Very, very cool. This looks fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Love to see it. Architecture, yeah, you got real excited. Yeah, maybe when it gets closer, Pyro. Oh, it was based off of a scene from Arcane. That makes sense. Yeah, it did kind of look a little bit like, what's it called? It starts with a P. Well, whatever the city was. I thought the dome tower was familiar regardless source of tone. Yeah, they look great. They look great. Gremlin, these look fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing with us. In the future, if you ever submit another piece, I love the clouds. Somebody use a cloud as a emote. Please feel free to, if anyone, like anybody is welcome to post links to socials when you make these posts, kind of like Zushi did. Like you can use it like an opportunity for people if they like your work to go find it elsewhere too. Nobody ever has to, but I just want to make sure it's clear that people know when they submit to the showcase. If you'd like to promote a social media or a shop or something, that's totally fine. Because there might be somebody out there who's like, oh, I really love that. I'd love to see more. So there we go. But that's beautiful, Gremlin. Thank you. And then here we have one from Moose, submitted right on the cusp of the submission deadline, but we're going to allow it because it looks pretty cool and it wasn't like it was super, super late. Alcohol ink test. Alcohol inks are so fun. I don't know if Moose streams art. I know Moose used to stream art. Moose, if you're here, let us know if you still stream. I know it was like months ago. I feel like I saw maybe one stream, but I don't know if you still do. But this is Paradox Moose doing some alcohol inks. If you've never played with alcohol inks, they provide so much vibrant color. They're very messy, but also very lovely. So if anyone's looking for a cool traditional media to check out, definitely recommend alcohol inks. You can do some really cool effects like these with them. Some really, really lovely. I love the just the vibrancy and the way that the colors are sort of like mixing around with each other. It just looks like a really fun experimental piece. I hope you had fun doing it, Moose. And thank you so much for sharing it with us. And again, if you do decide to get back into streaming, let us know, and we'll give you a shout out for the showcase. Gremlin's piece could easily be passed as a YA book cover. I know, right? It looks great. Yeah, Gremlin did a great job. You've never used alcohol inks? You should. They're really... I did a little like a coaster project with them with my art club when I was a teacher. So I'd have the kids, they would crush eggshells on these tiles and like glue them down and crush them. And then after it dried, you kind of like drop alcohol inks and they kind of spread and like slither around and make these really, really pretty designs. And then you like layer it with Mod Podge or some kind of clear medium to kind of seal it. And it just makes these nice little coasters. I don't know. It was always fun. But you can use them for all kinds of things like paintings, crafts. They're really, really pretty. A lot of people use them in scrapbooking, I think. But I think they're nice. Yeah, alcohol inks are beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Moose. Let's see if I can find... Is there a pink heart? And a blue heart. Beautiful. Beautiful. And your belly, spicy jaw. And last, we have Fox Confessor. Yep, this is the last one. So anything posted below this will be on next month's showcase. So I know we've already got one posted in there, which is totally fine. If anybody wants to be a part of the showcase and you're thinking about it right now and you don't want to forget, go ahead and put something in there now. Go to the monthly art showcase section, drop your piece, just one piece per person, post links if you'd like to, and let us know if you stream so we can shout you out and what your name is. But yeah, we like to show off the work that this awesome community does once a month, and this is the opportunity to do it for last month, and then all of April we'll look at that first afternoon stream in May, as long as I can get the afternoon streams working. But for today, this is the last one from Fox Confessor. I don't know if Fox Confessor streams. I'm still new to digital painting. This is my 8th piece. Oh wow, really? My first time drawing a whole horse. Horses are hard. You learned a lot doing this study, mostly that horses make no sense and that you need to do more studies. Horse anatomy is complex. It's true, but frankly, Fox Confessor, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. I think this is a very well-drawn horse, especially for an 8th attempt at doing digital painting. I think you're doing really, really well. The anatomy is honestly pretty solid. Like, give yourself a little more credit. Also, I really like the clouds, by the way. The head looks amazing for sure, but I mean, even the muscles and stuff, there might be some proportion things, but your values are really strong. Like, the pieces all look like they go where they're supposed to. I think you did a great job. And more studies are always helpful. Like, you never get to a point where studies aren't needed, right? So don't let that stop you. Come hang out for the art gym. We do horse studies every once in a while, so we'll definitely we can catch you up on equine anatomy if you want to. Oh, there you are. You don't stream yet. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, let us know if you ever cite too, and we'll be happy to shout you out during a showcase. The rest looks great too, but the head is really pretty. Yeah, you did a great job. Really careful study there too. But don't worry, horses are notoriously difficult. It's one of those animals that people always say, if you can learn how to draw a horse really well, you can draw just about any animal, because you will have learned enough about weird anatomy to actually like mostly figure out at least most quadrupeds. So you thought the head was a photo? Yeah, I can see that. It's really, really well done. Horses are made of spite. Once you believe you know their anatomy, it rearranges itself simply to cost the viewer. Yeah, those are facts. You should talk to Kev, Central Arts, about some scientific fun facts, because wow, that's a really good fact right there. No, I struggle with horse hind legs. If it makes you feel like I have done studies specifically of horse hind legs. Like, I've literally gotten out horse books and tracing paper and traced the hind leg of the horse. I've traced the bone structure. There's like a really weird joint situation happening in this, and it's basically their ankle. But because it's their ankle, it's like stretched in these really weird ways that look really different from every angle, and it's really hard to remember like what side is higher than the other, and I really struggle with horse hind legs. So if it makes you feel any better, horse anatomies are hard. And you're doing a great job, and I hope we get to see more art from you. This painting is lovely. I hope you're proud of it. I mean, you're at least proud of it enough to show it to us, right? So well done, well done. Beautiful. I wonder if are there any other horse emotes? Yeah, let's do a running horse. Beautiful stuff. And with that, guys, that is the end of the showcase. So I'm going to be looking at everything below this line next month. Oh, and whoops, I forgot to, at least we got through the showcase before the ads happened, so that's good. So let's take a stretch break, let's take a water break, and then we're actually probably going to raid out. So sorry you guys have to sit through another round of ads, but you know what? We all need to hydrate. Everybody give yourself a round of applause. Round of applause to everybody who submitted to the showcase. Well done. I am proud of you all. I'm honored that you wanted to share your art with our community. Thank you for being a part of the community. And we're gonna stretch really fast. And drink water, because wow, I've been talking for a while today. Normally these streams will not go until this time anymore. Normally they're gonna start ending at 11, because I'm starting at 9 now, so 11's the latest they'll go, but because we did the showcase on top of it, it went a little longer, so. But the new times for warm-ups are still gonna be 9 a.m., so just keep that in mind. I'll leave the brunt of the facts to Kev. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Don't forget to unshrimp yourselves, chat, really quick, since we are in an ad break. We're just gonna do that real fast. But yeah, we're gonna be raiding out here shortly. So thank you for the socials and the Discord links and stuff. If anyone needs those, there they are. We'd love to see anybody hanging out in Discord in between streams. And then we'll do the little credits and stuff after the stretch. But everybody, don't forget to unhunch. That's mainly what we need to focus on, right? Is if you've been hunching for a while, make sure you overarch your back, push those shoulder blades together, you know, all that good stuff. And crack the walnut, whatever it is that they call it. But yeah, let's get the credits rolling. And I'm gonna rehydrate a little bit and try and find a raid target. And then when we come out of the ads, hopefully I'll be ready to go. We'll see, it may not work. But yeah, don't forget to do your carpal tunnel stretches as well, if you have not done those already. I'm actually surprised OBS isn't stuttering. Oh, there it goes, it's stuttering a little bit. knew it was too good to be true. Okay, what's gonna say hi to today? I think I know where we're going. I know where we're going. Okay. Quick carpal tunnel stretch, and then we're gonna get into the credits here. But I really do appreciate everybody who hung out today. I know it was a longer stream than normal for the art gym, so if anyone made it all the way to the end, thanks. Oh, and for the folks, there's some other awesome artists that were in chat earlier that I wanted to shout out that I totally didn't yet. So if you guys aren't already following Cup of Joe, make sure that you do for Cup of Joe. Incredible art pal here on Twitch. Just great immaculate vibes on his stream, by the way. So if you aren't already following Cup of Joe and you like pixel art, make sure that you do. And another artist you should all be following is Melimini. So make sure you give both of those awesome folks a follow before you leave here. But thanks to everybody who rated in today. Thanks to the follows. Thank you, Spicy, for that sub earlier. Yeah, for sure, Joe is. And the resubs. Oh my gosh, the subs and the resubs. Thank you. So kind. Appreciate the cheers, the moderators, the lurkers. If you lurked today, like, salute to you. Seriously, I really appreciate that, especially if you hung around from those raids. Thank you again for those generous raids from Struble and Margot and Running Pico. I really appreciate them. Appreciate everybody showing up on the Patreon column too. If anybody is interested in being a patron, there's a link to see how to get in on that. That's just kind of a way to support outside of Twitch. Patreon does give more of a cut to the person than Twitch does. So if you would like to monetarily support what I do, that's where you can do that. Everybody who's showing up in the credits is at the fan tier or higher. So there's a tip tier. It's just like a tip jar. It's like anything below $5. And then anything above that, we'll put your name over here. So yeah, feel free if you're interested. If you want to be in the credits for that, go for it. But you can also sub and not be. If you don't want to be in the credits, that's fine. Just let me know. But yeah, I appreciate y'all being here. It was a really fun art gym. It was a really great showcase. I appreciate everybody. I know it was a weird time to do the showcase, but it was really cool that we got to show off art to so many raiders. So if you did hang around with the raids, thank you. We are actually going to go raid into another WorkSafe artist who is having a 4-year streamiversary today. We did raid them kind of recently, but we're gonna go ahead and raid them again just because it's a special day today. But Biet Isel is a lovely community member who I've streamed with a few times and just is always WorkSafe, family friendly. So I always feel good bringing my community there. I know nothing bad's gonna be happening to anybody. So if you're watching at work or you have kids around, you don't need to worry. Just keep on lurking. Isel's fantastic. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. I know Pyro already put all these in the chat, but just in case anybody was just listening and not looking at chat, if you need social links, there's some in the stream. If you just couldn't hear because of the ads, or if you'd like a Discord link, there you go. But thank you for the help to my mods again. You guys are awesome. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow for an art gym stream. We're doing sea slugs in the morning, 9 a.m. Don't forget, the rest of the month we're trying out a 9 a.m. start time for art gym. So please keep that in mind. Did my raid start? I don't think it started. I was trying to do my wrap up, but I don't think it actually started. Did it? Oh no, it did. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to be doing the Sea Slid Dragon designs in the afternoon. We're going to do another test stream, go a little longer, and we'll see if my stream stays on. But for now, if you want to hang out through the raid and get some more channel points, just don't go anywhere yet. We're going to go say hi to Isel. Oh, I forgot my raid call. I don't really have one. Just, use whatever you want. Casey raid, I guess. I'm going too slow. Panicking. Help. There, use that. Okay, I'll see you over there. Okay, bye. Not a pro. Not even close.